It's time for movie buzz. It is time for movie buzz. Tell your mom, your sister, and your cousin it's time for movie buzz. Here comes your host, Zach, carrying a six-pack. Come on over, enjoy the fun. It's time for movie buzz. Yeah, come on over, enjoy the fun. It's time for movie buzz. Welcome to Movie Buzz. I am your host, Zach. Tonight, with me are two very special guests from Chris Break Show.
If you're reading this and this warning is for you, every word you read of this useless fine print is another second off your life.
Yeah, that's what was one of the trivia.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That right
what?
there, we don't get through the intro before we get into the trivia.
Jesus Christ, dude. With me today are two very annoying guests. We have Chris Break and John Rapp from the Chris Break Show.
I'm Chris Break, and I apologize. I just could not let the intro to the movie be not mentioned while I was staring in my face.
Yep.
It's a special intro to Fight Club.
The DVD intro, yeah, it's the warning.
No,
People
go ahead and
probably
tell me
missed that. A lot of people probably missed that. You know, that DVD, the warning, the FBI warning is fake. It's like from Tyler Durden.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know exactly what you're talking about. Excellent. No, I didn't see that because I was too busy wrangling the show back in.
But that's the idea of movie buzz, right? You know, you point out tidbits like that. So
Exactly,
we couldn't
yes.
let that one go by.
No, we couldn't. Well, the show is a little different now. Some legal issues were pending. Not necessarily pending, but, you know.
You have to cease and desist.
There was a possibility of getting in trouble if we kept playing the movie in the background, because apparently you have to get permission from the studios, even if you're showing, like, a trailer. So we switched it to watching the movie with subtitles.
Those movie companies with their laws, that's outrageous.
They basically want to make sure that, you know, you're not...
Oh, thank you.
No problem. They want to make sure that you're not going to make money off someone else's creation.
Right.
You know, which I understand, but Fight Club came out in 1999. You know? Give me a fucking break. Like, Jesus, you all right over there, sir? We're getting
I think it should be good.
getting buzzed here on Movie Buzz.
Yeah, I'm going to be a little different than I normally am today because I don't normally smoke before I get on these microphones. So thank you,
fine.
Zach.
Time to ramble. Well, actually, I'd like to ask you, Chris Break, since you somewhat chose the movie, I gave you 4 choices, and you picked this one. What's your connection to this movie? Why did you pick this movie out of, you know, Edward Scissorhands and I don't know, whatever else I suggested?
Because this movie is probably the first anti-establishment film I've ever seen, or at least could remember, and I held out on watching it for a long time. Someone introduced it to me when I was, I think, 14, 15 years old.
1999, yeah. How old were you? How old were you guys in 99?
It had been out for a while.
It had been out for a while.
A couple years.
Once you watched it?
Yeah, but this guy was like, you got to see Fight Club. And I was like, dude, that sounds horrible. Fight Club? I hate those types of movies. He's like, no, you got to check it out. And I finally did, and that's why I picked it, because it's fucking amazing. I've read the books, you know, most of them. Chuck Palahniuk.
Oh, I was like, the Fight Club book? There's a series? It's like Harry Potter here?
Well, you know, they're pretty much, all his books are kind of pretty much the same type theme.
Yeah, no. Yes, he definitely has like a certain vibe. This movie definitely carries the Chuck Palahniuk vibe towards it. It's very self-deprecating. Like, you can totally tell when there's a lot of Chuck Palahniuk in Fight Club. You know, there's a lot of him and a lot of his stuff.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Oh, I just want people to know that for some reason,
Hold on, wait.
I kind of want to take over and just explain to people that
Of course you
we
do.
have not started watching the movie yet.
No.
Zach will tell you when we're going to start.
Oh yeah,
So
this
hold
is
your horses there.
This is a companion piece, so yeah, that goes without saying. I thought maybe it doesn't.
I don't know what kind of descriptions I don't look at descriptions on
I don't think
podcasts.
anything goes without saying. So for those of you who started the movie, just wait. We'll give you a verbal cue. So it's totally okay. John, what's your connection with Fight Club? Did you have any kind of special connection with this movie, or do you like it?
Yeah, I really liked Fight Club. It changed my life. I recommend
different ways.
Like growing up or whatever. I recommended this movie to my mom. Was like, you should see that as a picture of how like jaded our generation kind of feels and stuff like that. I liked the portrayal of. I felt like that. I felt identified with a lot of the out of place, you know, elements and stuff like that.
Well, it's like a movie like you guys are what, like 2 years older than me. I'm 28. So you're about a year and a half, 2 years older than me. Like,
Right.
I went to see Half Baked in the theater when I was in seventh grade.
Right.
You know, it was mildly entertaining. I had someone there that
that got the jokes because he's a little older than me. So I was more or less laughing along because he was laughing.
Right.
It's one of those movies, like this. This came out when I was 14 or so.
Right.
I believe I saw it. I did see it when it came out, but I didn't really grasp the concepts until I was about 16 or 17.
Okay, you kind of grew into it.
Yeah, exactly. And then all of a sudden, this movie kind of became like one of my life philosophies or something. It kind of shaped like part of my philosophy in life, sort of thing. Like you said, it kind of expands your mind towards different ideals that you didn't really understand or embrace.
And some of that's bad. Like coming from that, you have to cut off part of it because some of the stuff they do in the movie is really bad.
It's very heinous.
I heard I think it was Fincher, one of the people that made the movie, saying that it's not glamorizing like that type of lifestyle. I was saying that you should go and do these things, but half of it you want to go and do. Paint smiley faces on buildings. Like that sounds like a good idea to me. Like
it's corporate vandalism,
From that, I feel like we're not going to probably have much more of an open discussion about this unless we start talking about the movie itself. So we might as well just start it.
I was zoning out for a while, getting lost in this DVD menu. Like it's like some MK Ultra. Like seriously, everything else in the room kind of disappeared.
Yeah, it really makes you want to watch the movie.
The lighting in the studio is very strange as well.
Yeah, you got a real sharp screen there, and just seeing that come out at you, it kind of looks like scratchy film, and then it'll just pop up random.
I don't think I've ever seen it in HD before. Fight Club HD.
It's definitely a good way to set up the movie, the feel for the movie. It's kind of like gritty. The movie is definitely like dark. They use some kind of like filter or something to make it really dark.
Yeah, I did read that Edward Norton said he was amazed at how his hair looked black.
Oh yeah,
because it was like probably a kind of dirty blonde.
At one point, I think they're both in the airplane, and they say that both their hair come off black, but apparently it's not. Their hair's not black. Big Hollywood secret. Finally revealed. Okay, so everybody out there in listener land, get your digital copy of Fight Club. This is early enough where there's a VHS, I'm sure, right? There's DVDs.
I've definitely watched it on VHS. But
it's online somewhere. Find it, get it, cue it up. You can pause the show because you have the pause effect. So get it ready. We're going to hit play now. Yep, from the menu screen. It goes to the 20th Century Home Entertainment.
Which they do not endorse this podcast.
No,
anyway.
They do not in any way, shape, or form. But we did record, Chris Brake and I recorded one of these earlier. We watched Varsity Blues, which will never see the light of day. It'll never be released. But I'm going to ask you guys, how many times have you seen that fucking 20th Century Fox, intro? Hundreds, thousands, maybe?
It seems like it's kind of disappearing. But maybe that's because I don't watch movies on DVD anymore, so usually they cut that shit
right
out.
Here. Spotlights, 20th Century Fox, backdrop of a city. How many times have you seen this? Hundreds, at least. A fair amount. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being
definitely in the hundred thousands.
Yeah, it does feel like hundreds of thousands. Of course, they have to let you know it's a News Corporation
it's on
company.
Twice. They had two of the same logos on there.
Rupert Murdoch's got to get his.
Yeah, Regency. I don't even know what that is.
There's so many, these distribution houses and production companies nowadays. It's like, good luck guessing which one it's going to be.
Or even caring,
This
or
is
even give
This is
an
an
F.
incredible opening scene here.
This is set to Chemical Brothers.
Yeah, it
Dust
probably
Brothers.
is.
It's Dust Brothers.
Dust Brothers. There you go.
Yeah.
Do they have some kind of connection?
There are only 2 songs on this soundtrack, or at least featured in the film that I know of. Only 2 that are not Dust Brothers.
I feel like one of
them is the Pixies.
Yeah.
Where's
my mind?
The second one is Going Out West.
I'm
by
totally
Tom
gonna punch your arm.
Nice.
Dude, I jinxed you. I'm gonna punch that arm.
At some point, you should exchange a punch, and that'll be the jinx. You're cashing it in.
No, it's okay.
You're not going to?
I'm a bigger man than that, sir. Wait till we get into the movie a little bit. They'll start talking about the mayhem and the nihilistic.
They say that this is
point of
the
view.
inside of Jack's brain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Jack being the narrator of the show.
It's starting at that little part of his brain, that little piece that might cause something strange to happen.
The medulla oblongata?
Maybe.
I don't know. Frontal cortex? Well, what I was going to say...
It's going to zoom all the way out of his skin. Sorry, I'm excited.
No, I was just
there
curious.
There we go. There's his skin right there.
Do the...
eyebrows.
Isn't there something like it
Nose.
took them? It probably took them just as much time to render all of that as it did to develop that opening sequence as it did to probably film half the movie. You know?
Yeah.
Back in the day, like Disney, when they had to render shit, they had like supercomputers dedicated to just rendering, one movie, and it would take months, like,
long time.
long time. Okay, so we open with the narrator sitting in a chair, getting a gun playfully provoking him.
Yeah, but instead of thinking of dying, he's thinking of how clean that gun really is.
Because the guy that's holding it is a nasty-ass Brad Pitt wearing a tank top. Any guy wearing a tank top in his 30s is pretty gross, probably. You can hedge your bets on that.
So grungy dude.
He's definitely holding on to the.
And speaking of CGI here, when that whole thing jumps around and goes through the buildings, you can really see. If you pause it, you can see people in the cubicles. You can.
Oh, it's that detail you're saying.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really deep.
You think
That was lost on the VHS copy,
Yeah,
I did
really
not know that.
all pixelated, possibly or something. Bob has bitch tits.
They said they came up with two different
Meat
fat
loaf.
suits, one with nipples and one without nipples, because they didn't know which one
Did
the
you-
studio would approve of.
So did you watch it with the commentary? See, what I did was I haven't watched this forever.
These factoids are coming off of IMDb trivia.
Ah, okay.
I did watch the commentary when it first came out.
Well, what I did was, I haven't seen this forever, so I ended up watching part of the commentary with the author of the book, Chuck Palahniuk, and then I watched the other part with the commentary with Helena Bonham Carter, who plays Marla, and then we have Brad Pitt, who plays the Tyler Durdens, and Edward Norton was on there. He's the narrator, and also David Fincher, director.
Nice.
So you learn a lot of like random information. But what I want to do is, we have to create our own commentary track here. I mean, who the fuck wants to listen to Brad Pitt, sexy Edward Norton, talking about things that are relevant to the movie when they could listen to us get like sloppy drunk and be
Right there. Ooh.
Just a flash, yeah.
They
I
do those
really
subliminal
liked it the first
flashes.
time I saw that.
Zach, this movie really trips me out.
Does it?
Yeah, like it's just. I believe this is the first movie I ever watched on a computer. Like I got a DVD, and it was the first Supreme DVD collection. One
Where
of
you
those.
could watch it really intimately in your room by yourself or something.
Well, it was just like a special edition. It was a really intense special edition box
This
set.
again,
Special
David
features.
Fincher claimed in a magazine that Starbucks cup was in every shot of the film.
In every shot, you mean every scene or whatever, or every shot?
Every office scene.
Every shot is what it said on IMDb.
But what
trivia.
constitutes a shot? Like changing angles, or like that's what I'm saying.
He was
Like, is
really
this a
naked
shot?
there.
Yeah. I heard something like that. Few actors commit the way that he does.
Are you reading
Great
that
job.
right, John? Because there's obviously not a Starbucks. Maybe somewhere hidden in there, but there's obviously not a Starbucks cup.
I think I took that as maybe he was fucking with him,
In this scene,
But the factoid is David Fincher claimed there's a Starbucks coffee cup in every shot of the movie. He said that in Empire Film Magazine in the UK. In the
this
UK.
guy's a factoid machine, dude. Well,
I'm
from
writing
what
it down. I'm looking at notes.
truth
here,
or
but-
truth or false, all I know is in this scene, they had to like pace the shot perfectly because of everything popping up, So imagine
I bet
just
they did, man.
scene
Like,
after scene, just like take after take, like you're
Were they
walking
watching
too
a
fast.
live monitor with
walking
the
too slow.
logos popping up on it?
I
while they
couldn't
were
tell you,
shooting?
sir. I wasn't there, but no, I really have no idea.
Like Google Party.
There's a lot that goes on in this movie that you kind of miss. Like I didn't
Very
even
subliminal.
when I think of Fight Club, I don't think of those shots with the crazy words in it. But that must have been a big deal, a big production to do
It's
that.
playing that amazing Dust Brothers music. Boom, 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 boom.
And
Yeah.
now we go
Yeah,
to the. Well, this is something. Sorry to interrupt, sir, but there's something I want to bring up, and this is something we've all kind of dealt with. But he's at the doctor right now, the narrator. We haven't learned his name yet, and he's dealing with sleep deprivation. Like he's insomniac.
Doctor gave him valerian root.
He said to chew on some valerian root. Which what is this guy? Like some
comes
like
again.
ancient Mayan doctor. Yeah, here's another Tyler blip, real fast. But how do you deal with fucking this is at one point in my life, like this is how I dealt with insomnia. I just watched this
You
movie.
had a problem with insomnia.
I just watched this movie. Yeah, well, lack of sleep, insomnia,
Right.
I don't know, not like clinical, nothing like that, but not being able to sleep till 2-3 in the morning, having to get up at 6,
Does
Yeah.
maybe help you get through that?
It helped me. Yeah, I guess you could say it helped me. Yeah, it got me through. I don't know. I just turned to this movie like all of a sudden, like I was saying earlier, the philosophy thing, like
Right.
it became a philosophy. It was like a mantra to watch this movie.
What kind of
Like
philosophy is this?
His
like
name is Robert
nihilistic?
Paulson. Yeah.
I remember
Yeah, it's
you,
very
you said-
nihilistic. It's
you used
existential.
Yeah, existential. Cause didn't they teach you in college that existential has to do with not believing in God?
It was high school. I don't. Shit. Well, I don't really know about the not believing in God thing. I think that's part of it, but it's like putting man before anything, sort of like, you know,
Right.
we are in control of our own destiny, sort of thing. You know, like man, like God has no effect here.
It just
You
seems
know,
like
it's
the
like,
examine of existence.
You don't need to worry about
Yeah.
like the bigger picture. Like you need to worry about your own plight, sort of thing. You know, like
Right. That's something that you had told me. You said that you learned that existentialism meant not believing in God. And that probably has a lot to do with it. I'm just saying what they're teaching him in college. I can't. That's not the real meaning of it.
yeah, it's not
more-
necessarily it doesn't exist. It's that he doesn't matter. If that makes sense.
And I would like to tell those college professors, I think the word should mean just the examine of existence.
Yeah, like yeah.
Isn't that what that means? That sounds about right.
See, they just It seems like existentialism has come to the fact that you can neither prove nor disprove God, so God doesn't matter. Like it's kind of one of those things where it's like there is no. It's all self-actualization, and like there's no determined path for each of us.
Does it go hand in hand with like nihilistic?
But yes, the
tendencies and
nihilistic,
whatnot,
yeah, nihilism is more. We don't believe in structured religion or anything of that nature.
Right. This movie has a lot of tendencies like that. That downtrodden
Yeah, it's the plight of the common man. It's kind of like our
Right.
generation.
Right. Yeah. I recommend this movie as a good picture of our generation.
Yeah, you suggested that to your mom, and I feel like that's a perfect suggestion.
I just want to point out
I don't
that
think she
tried
ever
to-
watched it.
I tried to sip my beer down on the table.
Did it clanky?
It did. I think it did slightly. And I was like, oh, crap, I need to move it over here so it's out of the way. And then when I tried to move it, I then hit the cord on the microphone with it.
Yeah, it's
Double
okay.
whammy.
I've been hitting the table here, so it's not, it's not a big deal.
Do you guys think that would help you out if you were this guy in this
Look
movie?
at that American flag lit up in the background like that.
Yeah.
That's on purpose.
It's symbolism. Yeah.
Look at these extras acting in the background. Some of them, like that guy right there on the right, totally overacting right there. Like, my hands are patting you. Like, I am consoling you right now as an actor, as a real person.
Zach,
Yes.
if you went instead of going,
I was gonna get back to that. I'm
Would that
sorry.
help you?
No, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
This is hilarious. This just cracks me up. He's like crying, but it's funny.
that would not help me.
Babies don't sleep this well. I don't know, just to flush it all out, like just to get it all out and put it,
Right.
You're not necessarily crying because you don't have you have testicular cancer because you don't, but just
I would have just been weirded out.
it's your turn to cry, so cry.
I go home and cry by myself. It's just,
Well, he's beyond that. I mean, this guy's going to support groups for relief, so he's beyond like
he just wants to sleep. Though. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
it's still bizarre.
He's very he definitely is like very detached
He's going
towards the
support
feelings
groups
of other people. Yeah, he's cruising the one ads for.
They said that Chuck Palahniuk, the guy that wrote the book, used to drive elderly people around and dying people, sick people. He would take them to the support groups, and he really was a faker. He would sit there, and he said he felt strange, and I think eventually he did start to join them,
Well, that's
and sit in on the group.
I can see doing that though.
Yeah.
You sit in on it, and you get into it, and it's like they're gonna find you out that you're fake, and it's like I didn't.
A tourist.
Yeah, you're not trying to. Do
well.
that,
That's
but-
the interesting thing is apparently the actors chose not to go because
Really?
they felt like it wouldn't be, respectful or like it didn't add anything.
That's
to
Leonardo
it or whatever.
DiCaprio's breath. You see it?
From Titanic.
From Titanic. They what you don't dub in visuals. What do you do with visuals? Superimpose
Yeah, I guess.
his fake ass breath. There it is.
They use the
Is it
exact same algorithm from
Yeah.
Leo.
the same
Sigh.
algorithm. Well,
Wonder whose penguin that was.
welcome to
CGI.
Movie Buzz. We'll be getting buzz. You guys want to partake in some
I
buzzment?
think that was actually Mr. Popper's penguin.
I could believe it. It looked. I mean, if they're gonna take Leonardo's breath, why not take a whole penguin?
It's the penguin from when Batman Returns. They put little small people in penguin suits, and some of them
Who is Bob? Who's the character that plays Bob?
Meatloaf.
Yeah, Meatloaf.
A day. Jinx.
Okay, so we nullify each other's punches, or else we're gonna start a fight club here by
Yeah,
jinxing each other.
Do you actually jinx people? I haven't done a jinx in probably 10 years.
I don't know if the occasion presents itself.
Well, thanks for giving me the opportunity to jinx somebody in the face.
Oh, it's okay.
This
Welcome
Jake
to
Marlowe's
Center.
center. Welcome to Jamaica, man.
Welcome to Jamaica. Jamaican me.
Stoned.
Stoned.
Smoking a cigarette?
Back in the 70s, predating us, stoned used to mean drunk. So, you know, if we're saying we're getting stoned, maybe
That's
we are.
very confusing.
I know. It'll start to get really confusing the more stoned we get.
This is the first movie I ever saw Helena Bonham Carter in.
Mm-hmm. I'd have to, like, intentionally recognizing her. I don't know if maybe I saw her in something.
I
before.
really
That's
liked
probably
her.
not.
You know, it was like, wow, that girl's really cool.
She's got a huge career now.
Is she married to the Burton? Who's she
Yeah,
married to?
Tim Burton.
They have the same hairdos. She
Yeah,
has
they
the same
do.
haircut
They
in this
totally-
movie that he has in like every interview I've ever seen him in.
She's his goth queen. She's his muse.
Yeah.
Well, there he was.
There
again.
was
There's
another
another
one.
Tyler Durden flash for those of you not watching.
I like how normally when they pop Tyler Durden and he's doing something, like when he's next to that doctor,
He has his
people
arm
all say,
around him?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, bud.
Yeah. It's
I
really
need this
funny
to get
looking.
out.
Yeah. What did you guys think of that when you first saw the first time you watched the movie and you saw Tyler flipping it?
I honestly couldn't tell you.
I couldn't really either.
You want that?
What I thought of was, wow,
was
this is
confused.
gonna be a good movie. Like this is one of those
Yeah.
movies that does cool, weird stuff like
It's
this.
yeah. It's subliminal. And like I said, it's dark. It has that filter. Oh, Chloe.
This was different in the book.
How is it different? I don't remember. I have read the book, but it's been a long time. You lent me your copy. Did I ever give that back to you? After you get done, you okay?
I saw a copy of Lies my teacher told me over there. Is that mine?
No, that's one I got off of
Sorry about
the
that.
Amazons.
Okay. I wrote my name in it when you weren't looking today, so I can go over there and honestly say that's my.
So how's this Chloe thing different in the book? I'm curious. Does she not want to fuck?
No, he describes her differently. He doesn't say Meryl Streep.
Oh, you know, he
skeleton.
says Joni Mitchell.
Is that what he says?
Skeleton. She looks
Yeah.
like the skeleton of Joni Mitchell. If she
Joni-
had to like
Joni
yeah, if
Mitchell's
Joni Mitchell, yeah.
skeleton.
If
got
she was
really
forced
drunk
to.
and started dancing around the room.
Oh, okay. Well, in this one, it's Meryl Streep. Yeah, she has lubricants and anal nitrate.
She looks like Meryl Streep.
But yeah, she just wants to get laid. Her words, not mine.
She
That's-
could have done it better. She could have had some makeup on or something. You know, like she looks like somebody that you would not want to touch. You know, sexually.
well, no, that's
She's ready for it though.
Yeah,
what's
I know.
that?
She should have put
The
some
pity-
makeup on it.
the pity
pitched
fuck.
Better.
there is a terminology for it, and that's what it's called. You're supposed to have sex with her because you pity her. You feel bad for her. You know, that's the last thing she wants. So,
Right.
regardless of how she looks,
Sounds like a
at the
trauma.
core of it, yeah, that sounds like a traumatic experience for you. She's ready. She's got the fucking anal beads.
Yeah.
She's like, I got the Gimp mask. I got the whole outfit. So fuck it. At this meditation, John, you're a meditator, right? You've meditated like professionally.
I'm really,
I mean,
really
you know,
bad at it.
you've
I've tried
studied
to,
it
yeah.
though. You've studied the art of meditation, so to speak.
I've tried the TM. I did that twice in my life.
You
and I
do
enjoyed
that
it.
TM,
twice.
Transcendental meditation.
Yeah, transcendental
Oh,
meditation was
TM.
excellent. The one time I did it.
I was gonna ask if you did that twice a day, but
No,
I guess you do regular TM.
who? One time.
I
in
got
my
it confused with BM.
Life, one time in my life, I did transcendental
We make
meditation.
poop jokes here at Movie Buzz. Poop jokes.
And it was quite good.
How did that
I
work?
felt like I did it for 20 minutes, and I felt like I just awoke
Dude,
from
you
like
like manhandled
the best sleep I
Sorry.
ever had. You know.
The best sleep you ever had.
Yeah,
I
I
apologize, Tim.
You know, I just sit there and I relax and I do transcendental meditation,
and then real sleep.
and then all of a sudden, when I open my eyes at the end of it, I just feel so refreshed and happy. You know, like I just woke up from like a baby.
I'm just
like,
gonna
it
burst.
Like I can't explain how good I felt. It was shocking.
Wow.
I don't know why I didn't do it again after that. but it
Yeah,
was
see,
just,
that's what it is for me too.
was
Why don't you
completely
do that more?
Shocking.
John Rapp,
Should
you
do more of those.
you manhandle joints. I have to tell you.
Do you know how I read to do it?
I believe you.
It said sit there real straight, you know, and for 15 minutes you count your breaths. You just focus on your breaths. You breathe out slowly and then breathe back in slowly, and you count to 4. And then you restart at 4. And you just want to clear your mind entirely and not think about anything else, and just focus your breathing and just have your back straight and sit on an incline or a pillow if you need to, but don't lay down because you might fall asleep.
Yeah,
part of
yeah,
that-
it's right. You get to the mindset of right before sleep, so it's really easy to fall asleep in the middle of this stuff.
Well, that's why you do it sitting up, but then when you open your eyes, it's like you're wide awake and you
Yeah.
just feel like no one could do anything wrong to you at that moment. You're so happy. It was an insane moment. I'm gonna do it again.
You should definitely.
I am. I do it when I go to sleep.
There's supposed to be these moments. There's some kind of meditation that I tried. I don't know if it's the same thing, but there's these moments that you time your breathing and then you get the pattern down so you're not counting, you're just breathing. And at the arc of each of those breaths, like right when you stop exhaling and you're just about to inhale, there was this brief moment of like, just like nothingness or like purity or something. It's really weird. Like if you just get your breathing at a constant rate and then you concentrate on like the changeover from in to out, it's just this brief moment of like, it's like weightlessness or something.
Yeah, I
it's
think
really
that happens.
strange.
I think that happens in transcendental meditation.
That makes sense.
But you're doing it for, some like Andy Kaufman did it for an hour, I think, at least.
Wow.
Howard Stern does it.
Yeah,
Every
every
day.
day. Yeah, Howard
Stern
Stern.
do it.
About an hour every day, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
In this,
Really?
He's been doing it for 20 years.
this film, I think this is important
really
because
interesting.
these two characters are like, they meet. We kind of got to the meeting, but she's been going to these groups, these support groups that he's, been going to kind of relieve his insomnia, and he realizes his faker radar goes off, and he realizes there's another faker around, and they have like this really tumultuous relationship, and it's only been 2 minutes on screen. They're really
Yeah.
She's real comfortable with them.
it's a real give and take. And at one point he goes,
It's on his face.
Marla, she has no diseases. Let's not jump the gun here. Like she looks pretty fucking dirty in this movie, so I wouldn't say no diseases. She definitely doesn't have testicular cancer though.
This bitch does not have testicular cancer.
She demanded that here's another factoid. Her makeup artist do her makeup with her left hand, so it looked like off, like askew.
Oh, okay, yeah, like she's
I
fucking
like that.
taking pills and shit, and then
Yeah.
like I'm gonna go out for the day.
Right.
That's great.
Loaded our
Yeah,
But-
that was a good factoid.
well, like that's what he says. She says that she lives each day like she's gonna die, or like the tragedy is that she doesn't.
That's
So
right,
she doesn't have time to properly put on her eye
There you go,
makeup.
right here.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I missed it. I jumped the gun. But yeah, she says the tragedy is that she does it as she's walking through traffic. Like she's doing it so nonchalantly, it freaks me out. She doesn't have.
They just avoided giving his name.
She doesn't have a millisecond of like pause. Yeah, they did avoid giving his name. We still haven't learned this fucking guy's name.
I was under the impression that you don't ever.
Yeah, you
Well,
don't.
yeah,
They
but
call
I
him
mean,
narrator.
But as far as we're concerned, we're 20 minutes in the movie, and this guy, we have no idea who he is. We're supposed to be emotionally connected to this guy,
Yeah, I feel like we definitely are.
and you're immediately connected to him. You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't even realize you don't know the guy's name because
Right.
you're like, holy shit! Like
See, and
this is just a little bit of an exaggeration of my life. There's the famous Brad
this
Pitt
is the first time you
first
actually
time
see him.
in the flesh. You see him, but this
Well,
is the first
yeah.
time in the flesh.
Tiny
Not a
wife.
figment of the not some like blurb, some millisecond. Here's this whole.
He's got a real cynical outlook on everything.
Yeah.
This is
Just
he
pointing out-
does. I was gonna.
He's compartmentalizing everything, just explaining it to you. And he also, what he did, here's another one.
He's a narrator.
Here's
He's got to keep
another
the story
Tyler
going. So.
appearance on the far right here. He says, "Thank you."
Oh yeah, thank you. It's the hotel staff, and Brad Pitt is a
Yeah,
member of
on
it.
the television.
Right
There
there.
he is.
Welcome. That's what it is. This part.
Yeah,
Is,
Tyler's in that video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
this part is disgusting. It's these. He goes to these crashes and determines if they should do a recall based on
Yeah.
certain things. And this guy, they.
How true do you think all that is?
Well, another.
I think it's 100%
Yeah,
true.
very true.
It sounds
but,
like it would be.
But the
It's business. That's how you do it.
the detachment sort of part. That they're cracking jokes about like the dad being fat and his like back being burnt onto the linoleum of the
Should
car,
we
the vinyl of
initiate
the
a
car.
recall?
Yeah, should we initiate a recall? And
Like,
like
you can see where
the
the
kid's
fat has been burned to the
braces
seat.
on the like wrapped around the ashtray, and he's like, "That'd make a great anti-smoking ad." Like to be in this line of work, you have to be a cold son of a bitch.
Right.
Times B.
Yeah, he has, like you said, he has to break everything
He's just sitting
down
there
super
explaining
meticulously.
this. He's explaining it to some passenger on an airplane.
On an airplane,
This is
nonetheless.
small. Look, he's freaking her out.
It's like, does this happen a lot? You wouldn't believe. I love Edward Norton is really good in this role.
Yeah, he is.
Like you can never tell that's why Caleb's a perfect like foil to me, because I'm this goofy son of a bitch and he's the straight man. Like he's a really good straight man. You can never tell if he's being sarcastic or what car company do you work for? A major one. Yeah, they were blasting air cannons at his face. They CGI'd this whole airplane getting torn apart. And he's like, I was trying to have an odd look on my face, but he's like blasting, air straight into it. It's kind of hard to act. any way when you have that going on. And here is the first encounter between two characters. We actually learn his name, not the narrator, but the man that's been popping up randomly, subliminally.
This is my favorite scene of the movie, only because at the end of it, when he gets up to leave, he says, "Question of etiquette." And then immediately after, in the same shot, I believe, you get to witness what he does in the etiquette.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, but it doesn't. It would be better if he did it to him and then he did it to another passenger that had a vagina.
Yeah,
does he?
good.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
It's hilarious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's
Well, yeah.
hilarious.
John, do you know the answer to that question?
No, I know what you're talking about.
I
but-
do.
As a question of
ass
etiquette.
or
As,
crotch?
yeah.
I do exactly what Tyler does. Ever since I noticed that what he does, this is what I
If
do
you're going
at all
past
times.
Well, okay. We'll wait till the scene. You watch the scene and you tell us
What you would do.
what you would like, why he does what he does, which one he gives him, the ass or the crotch, and why you think he does it.
I would expect he gives the ass to the male and the crotch to the female.
There you go. It's that simple. Congratulations, sir. Did you you didn't know that? That was
No,
that's where your brain
That's what
went?
I do. And that's what Chris said that he does
Holy
too.
shit, dude.
Yeah, because of this movie.
I knew. Okay.
It's hilarious.
I met John Rapp here when I was like 16 years old. We were working at the same place. And as he gives that answer, I feel like he might be my Tyler Durden. Because like I started hanging out with you, and then all of a sudden
I realized you're not real.
No,
and
then
you
all of
need
a
to
sudden
stop
I started
lying.
doing a bunch of shit that I never did my entire life. You know, we're jumping off of cars, off of roofs.
Right.
You know, like
Dude, that was fun back at the pizza shop.
He said soap, the
Yeah.
yardstick of civilization.
yeah, what does that even mean? There's a lot of things that he
It
says. I'm
means
like,
you
what
can-
does that even
you
fucking
use-
mean?
It means you use soap. Soap is the yardstick of civilization. The measurement.
It measures.
It measures how civil a group of people are.
if they're.
The
Oh, okay.
higher end soap.
Okay. Sorry, I'm an idiot, and you're a genius.
No, I studied that line one time in my life.
Oh, okay.
It said that they learned how to make soap.
Okay,
For
but
this movie, like
well, yeah.
Edward Norton and Brad Pitt, they learned how to make soap. They took some soap making class.
What I'm saying is,
I like that.
Yeah,
This guy
that's some
says shit like
super
this, like-
detailed, man. Like, I don't know if they go all out like
Here we
that
go.
for other roles, but
He's getting up. A question of etiquette. As I pass.
he gives the ass to
Yeah.
him. He kind of gives him a little side ass.
Yeah.
You know, oh, and then he passes the leave and gives her the crotch. And she's like bending over. That's funny. I forgot about that. It's those little details, you know.
Yeah.
Classic. But you wouldn't know that normally, you know. I mean, how did you find that out? I think I might have read the trivia as well or something.
No, I probably didn't notice it until like a year or two ago. I've been watching this movie for years.
Yeah, I read it somewhere, but I don't know. And here's the problem. When your baggage gives a vibration off at the airport, they're probably going to confiscate it because it may be a dildo. They never use the article your.
I don't
Dildo,
remember.
right?
I don't remember this. Why is it vibrating?
I don't remember the answer. Chris,
It's a dildo.
number 3. Is it a dildo?
Yeah.
No.
There's no answer. He's being sabotaged, or is it something we shouldn't reveal
I
yet?
can't remember what it is. I don't think he really necessarily explains, but
It probably
It
they
is-
probably go and explain in the
he
book or
does it
something. Maybe.
intentionally or something like that. So I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I don't
Oh.
know. I don't know.
Not
You know?
revealing
None of
any.
us
Wait,
remember.
I think I got it. Not revealing anything too far.
Here we go. Look at this. There's Tyler
Jumping.
Yeah.
jumping into this
Convertible.
awesome car and taking off. And then a guy yells, "Hey, that's my car!"
And then
That
yeah,
reminded
Edward
me of
Norton's.
Hunter.
And then Edward Norton's all fucking depressed, like in the whole movie, just like, of course, you know, like he's got all the look, you know, like, cheer up, chum. He's a big chump there. But what were you saying before that, sir? Before
Scat. There's scat on the cab.
Yep.
that? What was happening before that? Oh man,
What?
I had something going there and I forgot it.
Oh, I fucked you up.
Yeah, real bad.
Well, look, there's
Because you want to talk about that guy going, "Hey, my car."
Yeah, I had to point that out because that was something that I never noticed.
Okay,
for,
without
like,
going too far into the book or into the movie or whatever we're watching or reading, I think the reason his bag is vibrating is like that's the first like him setting himself up possibly or something, you know, like
Okay, it's
You
never
know,
revealed is what it
yeah,
looks like.
no,
You never get to the
yeah,
bottom
but
of that.
no, yeah, like I think he's, you know, somebody's fucking with him. Somebody's fucking with him, and that's the
Yeah,
first
maybe Tyler
like,
did it.
sign.
Maybe Tyler put something in
Yeah,
there.
like, you know, that guy seems like he's kind of loose. Maybe it's him, but, like, somebody's definitely fucking with the guy, you know? And it gives the impression that's the first suspect because, like, you just met this guy.
Right.
But, you know, what the fuck ever. It could have been the a dildo guy. You know, it could have been that guy. He seemed like he likes like fucking with people. He had a real fun time explaining to him why they had to confiscate the dildo bag. Oh, we got another breaking news. John Rapp has some more trivia.
Marla Singer's phone number is
555-0134.
It's the same number as Teddy's number from Memento. Teddy, the supporting guy.
Yeah, Joey.
If you watch that, I've seen
the
that
guy from
number.
Baby's Day Out.
I've seen that phone number in a good 20 films.
Yeah, there was a few others that mentioned that I didn't write down.
Of course, always. All these movies just borrow off each other.
That number was
shit.
placed in our high school yearbook.
Really? Oh, under Tyler Durden's name, right?
Right here. It was an example of a late cheat. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just saying he calls Marla, and she answers, and then his fucking apartment explodes in his mind.
That's intense, man.
Yeah, like, well, they draw that correlation. It's, you know, like, this is like the beginning of something big here. Like, you can definitely feel a lead up to something, you know, like this guy is kind of just mundanely going through shit, and then all of a sudden his bag's confiscated, his apartment's blown up. Like, it's starting to go downhill for him even further than it was.
What do you have written on your notes?
I don't have anything written on my notes for quite a while.
What type of notes did you take?
I started watching I haven't seen this movie for a couple of years, and so I started watching it, and then I was taking notes about plot points or like lines that I thought maybe were funny, or you know, something like that. You know, I wrote down when the titular line shows up. I watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre the other day where I was like, how would they fit that line into the movie?
Oh, did they?
No, I'm saying how would they, like, man, this was a Texas Chainsaw Massacre if I've ever seen one. Like how
It'd have to be a cop at the
end of the end, wrapping it up.
A newspaper headline.
It's like some kind of parody they would do like in Scream or something, you know?
It sounds like a headline for a newspaper.
Want another one of these beers, sir? I brought one just for you because I know you're
thank you.
Semi-quick drinker. Watch out for electronics.
I'm going to fire through my first one.
All right, what do you got, John?
Rapid fire, go.
Ooh.
John from Indianapolis, you're on.
Did you guys know that author Chuck Palahniuk came up with the idea for the novel after being beaten up on a camping trip?
I did know that. You told us that right beforehand.
Yeah.
You should have
mentioned that earlier.
You should have waited for that one because they're.
I wanted to get it out of the way. It's the first one on the list.
What's your second one? No.
The breath. Well, we're already through the second one. The second one was the breath.
Talk about
Leonardo DiCaprio's breath.
Talk about what you were saying about.
Right before.
Talk about
the camping trip.
Why he? Yeah.
Well, right before that, I'd like to say that like this
guys.
is kind of a big, like.
Two black guys beat him up.
Well, this is like a big to do in the story. You know, like the denial
he
of
sits down with
the denial of material goods sort of thing. Right. You know, he's starting to spout his philosophy after this guy. You know, one of the things is, you know, the ass or the crotch thing. Like, this guy has a set standard rules he lives by.
Yeah.
And one of them is,
matters.
you know,
Nothing matters.
He's like, oh, you know, Edward Norton says, I got that sofa problem taken care of no matter what, you know, and he's like, fuck that, you know, fuck everything, you know. He's just this guy, like someone we know that used to be your next door neighbor, that he just sounds cool as fuck. You're like, yeah, dude.
He's also
your possessions.
Kind of a joke, though, you know. He's also like making fun of himself. Like, this thing don't concern me. It's like.
He's just talking real like commonly and like,
but it's
seriously, like
this neighbor that you used to have. You know, it sounds like something he would say. You meet him, he's like, you're like, yeah, man, your possessions do end up owning you.
Right?
Like how brilliant.
Don't most people agree with what he's saying? You know, it's not that hard to relate to, right?
Yeah, he's a real good salesman.
Who's going to watch this movie? Like, even like our parents or whatever watch this movie and be like, I don't know about that Tyler Durden. I just, you know, like, don't you think, or does he offend?
Don't you hang
people,
out with that boy?
Stop being perfect. Let's evolve.
Yeah,
come on, man. Let's evolve.
At one point in my life, like, I really got into this movie and I started smoking basic full flavored because that's what he smokes.
Is that what he smokes there?
Yep.
Did you have a coat like that too?
Yeah, well, we had this as a group of friends. We had this party called Sexy Party. As the
but
theme.
didn't you wear that for like a month?
I dressed up like him, and then I happened to have the jacket. It's like, why let it go to waste? I'll wear it. And I realized I could not pull it off. I mean, look at this guy.
How did it make you feel walking around with that jacket? Did you like look at yourself as Tyler Durden? And
No,
some types of,
no.
No,
that happened at the party. Really? Maybe the party, but I don't know.
You're wearing a Tyler Durden costume. People probably perceived you as him.
But at one point, I just wore the jacket, and then I'd wear like a, you know, I wouldn't wear the
You
costume.
That really never made you feel like, I feel like Tyler Durden. You know, what would Tyler do if he were here?
Well, look at this.
Not even once.
Look at this
At
attitude.
the
guy
party,
has.
when we had that
Just
party,
wear
I
it
was,
again.
like when I was inebriated, but not
Right.
in like standard, I wasn't like,
You should wear it again.
wasn't like I should go to a bar,
Like
You
Tyler
should.
Durden's getting to the
fight
point.
my friends, well, like meet new people.
You should lure. This is kind of a joke what I'm saying. But you should go to a bar and meet people and lure them in like that. Like, yeah, man, these are my nihilistic ideas, man. Like, these things don't
Just
concern
sit down.
me.
Just sit down,
Yeah.
drink alone at a bar, and just start ranting your fucking philosophy and beliefs at people. Start soapboxing.
See, but that's the thing too. Like, that's the weird thing about nihilism. It's like we don't believe in any organized religion or blah blah. It's like, but you clearly have a set of standards that you follow, and they're willing to preach to people.
I mean, look, he's got a smile on his face. It's always kind of like that guy.
In jest,
Penis
there's a
on the
big
side.
old
everything's in
penis.
jest.
Sorry,
There's
I
the first
can't help but acknowledge the
male
giant dick.
frontal nudity. Yes,
I just like before how, like, now he's explained to you what Tyler does.
Tyler works at a movie.
He has
theater.
odd
This is where they
jobs.
play with the medium, where it kind of fucks you up. He's explained
that's
to you what a
really
cigarette
cool.
burn is, and he points at it, and it
Yeah, it
happens
goes
on the
beep.
film.
Yeah, there's a word for that.
Yeah.
Cigarette burn.
We had a film student here that'd be able to tell you it's some like
The
storytelling
changeover, yeah.
technique,
Or breaking the wall, or
something like that. Yeah.
I dig it. But I like it. I like how when he's explained, just ask, man.
The dark,
You're
the
hinting around.
dark side
you,
of sucker
you wanna
punch.
ask me something? Fucking do it. It's
Right.
cool. Just tell me. Just stop shooting the shit and tell me what the fuck do you want?
You're talking about, he splices single frames of pornography into like children's movies and stuff.
Well, I find that
But-
offensive. I don't like that about Tyler.
But
Durden.
I
It's
feel like
yeah,
one
I don't
frame would last way shorter than this. Like this gives you, it clicks on and she goes, and then it clicks off. Like it seems like it'd be like, like that seems like longer than a frame.
And that's in this movie
this
too,
guy's
right?
this guy's
Well, I
pushing
guess-
it
Yeah, at the end.
at the
the
very
end,
end.
I
Yeah, the
just
credits.
broke the
Yeah,
rule.
man. Yeah, what a fuck shit up, man, left and right. No, that's not what I was
He's wearing
talking about. Not
headphones.
talking about. Huh?
Okay.
That's okay. You can go ahead and talk about the credits all you want.
Right, credits.
And I'll do the soundtrack.
This is gross. I can actually see people doing this. It kind of freaks me out.
Yeah,
He's
I've
the
seen
guy.
somebody spit in someone's chicken wings at a place I've worked, so like I can imagine
That's
someone
so gross.
He
pissing
worked
in
with that
food.
asshole Alex. That fucking kid, didn't he? When you worked at that hot dog place in the
Yeah.
mall, didn't he dip his balls in the fucking ice cream?
Oh gosh,
Jesus.
yeah,
Right. And
Right.
that stuff's gross.
that is disgusting. Yeah, that stuff is nasty.
Well, James used to. Didn't he stick
So
his
I'm saying,
face in the in the candy bins at the place? He'd get real high at the candy store. He worked down
did
the
he?
mall,
Talking about
and then he'd just like lift up the bins and get on his knees and put his whole face in.
so this is
Who knows how many
This is
Jameses
the first
are out
time-
there doing this weird stuff to the food out in the public.
this is the first time you ever they
And he
fight.
actually does hit him. That's another factoid.
He does hit him.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was. Edward Norton was going to fake punch him, but then David Fincher pulled him aside before they shot the scene. He's like, "Let's really punch him right in the ear."
Unbeknownst to Brad Pitt, of course.
And it says, "Watch out!" You can see Edward Norton laughing afterwards because he's in pain. You can see him laughing because he actually just whacked him right in the ear.
Oh, motherfucker! Like, okay, I'd like to just get this out of the way and say that I think
I'm sorry.
no.
was
There's three
amazing.
people here. It's tough, but I think this is one of Brad Pitt's best roles that he's ever played in
It
any
is.
movie. I'd say
Yeah.
probably top 3 at least.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect it, I guess.
I've
So
seen-
that's why it's perfect.
It's beautiful. Like it's right before he's super. I think he's pretty big by now, but it's right before he has like Angelina Jolie and like adopted kids and all this stuff, and like he's the man about town, but also he's like he's not necessarily mega star big at this point, so he still can take roles like this.
What was he?
Yeah.
in?
You
he
know?
was in. What was he in the Devil one before this?
The Devil
Where
one?
he played Death.
You lost me on that one. Sorry, I apologize. I'm not.
Meet Joe Black.
Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah, this was around that
That's
time.
what that
Anthony
movie's about.
Hopkins.
Never would have thought that.
Yeah, Brad Pitt's like he plays. I don't know if
He's
he plays Death, or
Death.
something.
I believe
yeah.
he's
Wow.
Death. Yeah.
And he comes to visit Anthony
Anthony.
Hopkins, and he wants to live life and experience it for a short time.
Yep.
And the
that
whole-
sounds intriguing.
Yeah, man.
It's not too bad. This
Does
part
this
is
guy
actually.
still take weird roles? He should be doing that still.
I like that they they're sipping on this beer, sharing it, and Edward Norton goes, he's like, "We should do this again sometime." Like, like they're on a date or something. Like they're on a total man date right now. Like that's a standard line right there. It's beautiful.
Where they're throwing the bottles around or whatever, they really are drunk.
Nice.
Yeah.
Why not? I'm getting there.
What happened to that movie that was supposed to be Brad Pitt plays a guy who can't get film roles because he looks too much like Brad Pitt. Like, I remember hearing about that a while ago.
It didn't happen though.
They might have done something with it and changed the actor, but that's fucking hilarious. Maybe it did happen.
I don't know.
Maybe that's out.
Maybe it is. Maybe Brad Pitt's in every movie you've ever seen, and he's just in disguise because he can't get movie roles because he looks too much like Brad Pitt. Wrap your mind around that, Fight Club.
I like those movies that do that. You know, like adaptation.
Like Pauly Shore is Dead or something.
I like that movie.
Have you heard?
There's Cold Souls with Paul Giamatti. He plays a guy who who gets his soul. Paul Giamatti plays Paul Giamatti, and he gets his soul extracted because it's too overwhelming for him, and they store it for him in a storage unit, and then the Russians steal it, and then Paul Giamatti has to go to Russia to get his soul back from the Russians because it's being sold on the black market.
That's insane.
What's that show on HBO that has Lisa Kudrow in it, and she plays some actress that just came off of a sitcom, and now she's trying to get shit started back up again, and
Isn't
the
like
show
the
is
Kirstie Alley show like that and all those?
But the show is it's showing her going through the process of getting the sitcom and all the behind the scenes. So there's a reality show attached to the sitcom that she's doing, so that it it succeeds either way. If one doesn't get enough attention, her bombing in the sitcom on reality TV will be
some Larry Sanders shit.
Yeah, it's real subliminal, real deep, cerebral stuff.
Can I be next?
Yeah, they Tyler and the narrator started fighting regularly in parking lots, and these truckers and just vagabonds and scoundrels start seeing them, and they're like, "Hey,
this is the scene they're supposed to be really drunk in. This particular.
Oh, they're shooting golf balls and shit.
Yeah,
into this industrial complex area.
There's supposed to be a Volkswagen Bug that they're hitting, but I didn't see it.
This house, by the way, we haven't even mentioned this. It's the setting. It's the setting for the next half an hour at least of the movie. Next hour, there's a lot of stuff that happens in here that's wicked. But this house is disgustingly amazing. There's stacks of just old medical journals, and this becomes a big thing. That these body parts.
This is a recurring theme of the film.
Yeah, they've written in these medical journals in the first person. So I am Jack's broken heart.
That made a lot more sense to me in the book. The whole "I am Jack's" this and that. I didn't.
I'm Jack's cancer or colon or whatever. Mm-hmm.
I think they went more into it in the book or something, but I didn't understand that until I read the book.
This is where they're playing with the medium again. They fuck with the medium the whole time in this movie. They're just constantly playing with it. The sounds turned down.
Well, this is what.
Yeah, it was really good.
This is the first interaction you see with him having. The first interaction he has with the real world, that you see after these fights have been happening. So everything's kind of muted out.
Yeah.
And it's like transcendental meditation to him, apparently. He just constantly lives in this state of kind of euphoric bliss, sort of, just thinking about the next time he can be in a fight and how it feels to have been in that fight. And the pain that he feels and the scars and the bleeding.
Yeah, Paul and Nick said that
he can't wait.
He got beat up on the camping trip and went back to work with these two black eyes, like you said.
Two black guys.
Two black eyes. So he goes to work back at his day job with two black eyes after getting beat up at this camping trip or whatever. And people, they didn't mention it. They just said, "Oh, how was your weekend?" Or just normal mumbo jumbo. And he was amazed by the fact that no one wanted to get close enough to him to ask him what was going on with his black eyes.
Dr. Pong Fong had a similar experience when he was working on our film, and we had him gather leaves, and he gathered poison ivy. And so his first day at his new job, he had poison ivy all over his face. His whole face was just swollen and nasty. And he said people didn't really look at him. They never met him.
This is a friend you were talking about here.
Yeah, Dr. Pong Fong. They never met him.
For those of you that don't know.
And he said they wouldn't look him in the eye, and they look away. And then he said a couple days went by, and he happened to mention to one of his coworkers, "Man, this poison ivy sucks."
Yeah, no.
They said, "What?"
I just want to be saying something all week to you. Oh, come on. See, I've had something.
They thought that he had a skin disease. He started doing research on lepers and leper colonies, and he was getting all freaked out during that time.
I've had something similar where I've had some obvious wound on my face, and it's why the fuck are you asking me about this? I'd be asking you,
right?
Why do you have this gash on your forehead or something?
Some thing people I know you're gonna ask me about this. So.
But there was this important line that
That's what you should have done, Paul Nick.
I really connected with at this one point in life. And he says
His teeth look bad. I was very
It's not that
concerned
line.
about his teeth.
No, not that line.
That was blood.
It's a line about a generation of men raised by women.
Right.
And it's like, well, that's what happened
There
to
you
me.
go.
This is when
where they dropped the Tom Waits song. Sorry.
divorce got like huge,
It only
you know.
happens once.
And it's like he says, I'm a 30-year-old boy. I can't get married. You know, like that's definitely where, like, just is that where you are?
Loud rock music playing. He doesn't even tell you what it is.
And that's
Listen-
Tom Waits.
Yeah.
Listen to what the fuck we're doing, though. I mean, we're all 30-year-old boys. Like this
Right,
movie connects. I haven't seen it in like 3 or 4 years, and it's like, Jesus, like this is why I love this movie.
Well, have a lot of even people that had a stable father you know, that most of the time he was out at work. So it's kind of a society designed to be raised by women. So it's not really it's not so much our fault. But yeah, like, even if like I had a mom and a dad, my dad was away at work all the time because that's what you do. You have this 40-hour a week job. You're out of the house all day, and
He
mom
says,
stays home with you. So
well, he says something to the effect of like, is another woman really what we need? And it's
Right.
like, it's because, well, like you said,
I've never really
you're
heard
saying that
anyone-
mother thing. It's just like, you know, are you just substituting women, you know, for your mother? Like, is that all that like this like women mean to you? Like, it's just kind of strange the way he puts it, you know.
yeah, well, but
There was
on the
the
other half is
titular
like,
line,
you
by the
know,
way.
you
Welcome
wanna-
to Fight Club. The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
Right.
Go ahead. Sorry.
That's so overused now. Everyone uses that constantly. The first
Well,
rule
I
of
mean, it's
this
way
is you don't
past
talk
that now,
about
dude.
this.
It's 2014 in the bitch. Like, this is 15 years old, which is crazy, by the way. But not only that, yeah. The first rule
Adjust
of
my
Fight
mic
Club,
here.
blah, blah, blah.
All right.
Adjust away. But yeah, I don't know. That thing about women and mothers is real strange. It's a real...
It's real good in the book. It's
Weird
a little darker
take.
in the book.
Yeah, it's a real... Well, Chuck Palahniuk...
I think he leaves out
I don't
one of the
know.
steps.
Well, I don't know if this matters or not, but he is homosexual, and I don't know if that comes into play or not. But I would assume it would. You know, that's just my thought.
And
Okay, I
he
see what
wasn't
you're
out.
saying.
He wasn't out at this moment. I don't think he came out till like maybe.
No, but despite that, he was out to himself
6 or
while he was
7
writing
years.
this book. I'm sure, you know.
Yeah, but
So the gay man
So-
was raised by a woman.
I think that. Well, yeah, but possibly. I
Well,
don't know
no,
about his
no,
parents or
yeah.
whatever, but I think
That's how he feels about
he's
his
talking about getting
relationship
away
with his
from
mom.
women. I mean, I would say it sounds like he's talking about getting away from women and just spending more time with men.
yeah, but
know,
I'm
if
just
you
saying
wanna
maybe
physically look at what's
what I
happening.
was saying
That's
earlier is
true.
like I see you know, there's a lot of him in his books and stuff, and like maybe that's kind of like, you know, I don't know. I was just trying to think of from his point of view, like maybe that has something to do with it, you know, like
Yeah, man, it'd be great to get him on
that
the
could
show.
be a
and
point of
ask
view.
him
Yeah,
about
it'd be
that.
great to ask. I just don't know. I'm just curious. I'm just a curious cat over here, Chuck Palahniuk.
That's
So
somebody.
it has nothing against, you know. I'm just curious. I'd like
Yes,
to
I
know.
would like to know that too.
Yes, me too. I have a bunch of these.
Unanswered questions. You got to get them answered somewhere.
I do. Okay, guys. Question:
What else you got?
If you could fight any celebrity, who would you fight? That's the question they're asking now. So who you got off the top of your head? Just somebody you hate that you just get in a fight with,
Oh,
or you don't hate, or like you just
Just who you would
just
fight.
go. Yeah. Who you got?
Because he said he wanted to
Off the
fight
top of-
Abe Lincoln.
No,
you know,
but that's
so I
later
imagine
on.
he
That's
he
later on.
respects him.
We'll get to that.
So it's not
But first he
necessarily
says
that you hate
Shatner.
him.
He says Shatner because obviously Captain Kirk, that guy, you know. You seen that guy fighting plenty of Star Trek
Look
shit.
on the
Like,
left
it'd be
there.
cool. It'd be
You
fun
can
to fight
see-
that guy.
you can
That
see
guy's
that
ass.
ass.
Lots
crack.
of penis.
You can never
So-
see that ass until
Anybody
like,
got
I
an
think
answer in
the
their head?
widescreen.
Got an answer? Anybody? Who'd you fight?
You know, I wish I had one for you.
I would fight Brad Pitt. That's the
Really?
simple answer, you know, and also
Nice.
kind of relevant. You
Any
know?
reason why? Just
I
because he's
can't
right
think
there
of
as the
anybody
first
else.
guy in your
Yeah, I think
in
he
your
would
mind?
get it. I think he'd get the joke. Hey, Brad Pitt,
I think it'd be fun
to.
to. I think it'd be fun to, at this point. You know, it's kind of relevant. I feel like it'd be fun to fight Justin Bieber.
You
Because
wanna
that guy's
fight
so
Justin
that guy's so
Bieber?
full of him fucking self. He'd probably be like, "Oh, motherfucker, I'll take you down. I will fight you." You know, like just let me get. You know,
Do it for like a show, like
dude,
a
I'd get him in a
charity
headlock.
boxing.
No. Oh my god.
I think I'd like to fight Oprah.
I think I'd cave his.
Fight Oprah.
Yeah. Are girls allowed? Or
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Would you have to let her win?
I don't know, but it'd be a good time.
That's
Or
no. That's
Steve
assuming that
Carell.
she wouldn't beat him in the first place.
Steve Carell, I can see that.
I think
Well-
that'd be a blast.
Wow, they're gonna love us here. I know.
What?
All the celebrities.
that's
We're gonna get all
another
the
one.
celebrities on Movie Buzz.
That kind of reminds me of Steve Carell sometimes, like in your sense
Oh
of
god
humor.
damn
a
it!
little
You're
bit.
gonna fight me.
I'd
yeah,
like to
that's
fight.
what I was getting at. Yeah.
Okay. I'd fight Steve-O. I think
That would be
pretty
good too. That would be. Oh, see, okay, and Steve-O and Brad Pitt are both related to Jackass. Like Brad Pitt's in a lot of Jackass like skits, and he seems like he's
Really?
on the level of weird. Yeah, he does like the skateboarding
level of
pandas
weird.
and stuff. Yeah, so it seems like something he'd be cool with. He's
says-
like a superstar, but he's like cool with Johnny Knoxville and stuff.
He starts talking for him in the movie. At some point, he says that self-improvement.
masturbation.
Yeah, is
I
masturbation.
don't understand what that line
self-destruction.
means.
Okay.
That's the
Or
answer.
yeah, he says or
What
he
does
says,
that mean?
and self-destruction. And I think he's saying that. Yeah.
He wants to fight Gandhi.
Yeah, I think he's saying
But
that-
Gandhi didn't fight back though.
I think that he's saying that.
That's a good idea, though.
I think he says, "What is self-improvement?" He said, "Masturbation is self-improvement and destruction." So I think he's saying self-improvement,
Self-improvement is masturbation. How is that?
Yeah. You're jerking off.
and self-destruction. Like self-destruction is
You're
self-improvement.
playing with yourself.
Okay, so improving yourself is no better
both
than
things-
masturbating.
It's
both-
self-serving. It's
Both things are
entirely-
Both things are self-important. Or self-improvement, self-destruction, and masturbation are both improving yourself. So to speak, in one way or another, because they preach against perfection.
You're
he's
not
been-
a unique snowflake.
Yeah, he's been preaching against like perfection and shit. So self-destruction is self-improvement. You're destroying perfection, sort of thing. But that's easy for Brad Pitt to say. Look at the guy.
That's the answer.
the guy he's a handsome, structured man. Like he's like, yeah, self-destruction, bro, and then flashes that $1 million smile.
Yeah, I mean, how can you say no?
What is Debtors Anonymous?
But see,
It's a DBTOR. What is that?
Debtors Anonymous.
Yeah.
It's people that owe money probably that are in massive amounts of debt.
And all the bad things that she's seen, all the death.
Yeah,
and cancer
I was thinking that
swiggers.
earlier
You
when
wanna
I saw
see
this.
some really fucked up people. You
Go to Debtors Anonymous. Yeah,
It's
they're probably like gambling addicts and like whatever. I don't know.
Or what kind of home life?
Depends on what you consider degenerate to be.
Marla came from.
What kind of home
That is
life?
a
Yeah.
Great question.
I'd like to see more about her past.
Yeah, Tim Burton needs a director. Oh man.
But then this full frontal female dude, she's
I don't
pretty
think-
hot. These are weird. It said this
I
is the
watched the
same
way this was
technology as the
filmed.
Matrix.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
that's-
all had little sensors on them, and I don't even think she was nude.
Yeah.
Really, yeah, I can believe that. It looks because most of it looks like a painting or something. But again, that's pretty high tech technology for this movie, and ended up
Titanic.
Pretty hot.
not making any money, right? Wasn't it like a bomb?
Kind of, but I think it lived on.
That's so
Oh, look at
Oh.
this. It's like 4
Toilet
condoms.
full of condoms. Just throw. You're not even supposed to throw those in the.
They're not tied
backed
off.
up.
They're not
Is
tied
that
off
cool?
or anything.
Is that cool to put those down the toilet, or is that
No.
Probably not a good. No. From what I understand, the people that take care of sewage and stuff appreciate you not putting condoms down in the toilet or cigarette butts.
or cigarette butts?
Yeah.
Or hair.
Yeah.
or
Like
hair,
anything
wow.
that could like cause a clogging issue.
But does that get filtered back into
Beyond
the water?
beyond fisses.
Like, he hasn't seen her since the groups. He just looks at her and goes, what the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah. Fuck you. But. Ooh. Nice. That's very sexy. She says. One of the lines she says is, I can't hardly believe anything you had last night. That's hot. Are you talking about the rubber gloves? Talking about his erection? You can't believe that?
I love it when he has the latex gloves on.
They want him to take that out or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but the test audiences thought it was the funniest thing, like in the movie or whatever, so they left it.
It makes
in.
him feel the least uncomfortable. Those are rated X or something.
Yeah, what's so bad about the glove, the rubber
Like,
glove?
probably just imagining all the things that he's doing with them. Like, he's like going in every orifice there is. Like,
Like, let me just, in case your imagination doesn't go there, he's fucking fisting assholes and mouths. And
yeah, that's what it implies.
Just fucking
is
go
that
for it,
he's
sir.
Fucking taking her to town, sticking his whole hand up her butthole.
Word.
But
Yeah.
there's got
he's going fucking
plenty of people like that.
Knuckle
forearm deep.
He's going postal, sir. Yeah, it's a 5-alarm fire sort of thing.
Hasn't even happened yet.
Whoa.
No, I'm sorry. That fist deep.
What do you mean? Oh, you
I
just.
don't think the glove has been on screen yet, right? We haven't seen it yet.
No.
have we?
Oh, I
It
thought it
walks
was in the
by.
flat. I thought it was in the.
Yeah, we haven't seen it
the
yet.
sex. Oh,
Oh, was it? Oh,
whatever. Well,
You want to finish?
spoiler alert. There's some point where he has a fucking rubber glove
You wanna
on when he
finish
has
her
sex with her. Whatever. Yeah. No, that's okay.
how glamorous she is. Like she's, she falls down and still tries.
And
to,
she has this giant dildo on her fucking thing, and he knocks it just to get it wobbling like a bobblehead.
Just in case you didn't realize that there was a dildo sitting there, which I didn't.
Yeah, I never did until he brings the dramatic attention to it, and it's all like, oh gosh. Oh, it's what? Like it's not something. It's like you know. It's I can't even talk.
It's not a cry for help.
No, what she refers to the dildo like it's not of your concern, not a threat to you. God, I can't even think of standard vocabulary. Oh boy, yep.
So I remember guys in high school like wanting to act like Tyler Durden,
Yeah, JS.
Jay Elliott.
Oh, what are you doing?
That's one. Nason was another one.
But he wasn't
a local congressman's son.
Nason
if you will.
Nason is the guy who actually introduced me to this movie.
Really?
I did not believe that it was.
See, I would never
me.
actually say he gave me that impression that he was trying to be like him. I never felt that from him.
Really?
But the first person you mentioned, for sure, obviously.
JS.
Yeah,
J-E.
obviously, like, I'm not even gonna.
What did he used to do?
He had like fur coat with like the sleeves cut off, like
he used to
he had
walk
paint
around
on
with
it or
that
something.
attitude.
Yeah, sunglasses indoors sort of thing.
He got in trouble for sunglasses indoors.
Yeah. Did he smear poop all over the walls in the bathroom or something? Was that him?
Really?
I don't know anything
mirrors
about
or something.
that.
Okay. Well, never mind. Sorry. I'm not gonna try and slander this guy. So
No, we'll have to put that in the tag.
it's
or
unconfirmed.
whatever.
It's unconfirmed. They start talking.
Elliott's
When you're
poop
sitting
on
there.
walls.
That'll be a YouTube clip.
I never really got into this practice, but apparently when you sit there with your chums, you're supposed to like talk about intimate details. And one thing she says to Tyler is, "My God, I haven't been fucked like that since grade school."
Yeah, and
But
you have.
the original line was, I want to have your abortion
Yeah.
or something like that, right? And they couldn't keep it in
Yeah.
because apparently
That's what it said in the book.
the anti-abortion crowd was larger than the anti-pedophilia crowd.
It was a woman.
That's the logical
Yeah,
conclusion,
that's true.
right?
The woman. I
A
don't know if
times
she
B
was
is
Abortion would be
casting
more of a
director.
problem than pedophilia, apparently.
A woman on the set. I don't know if she was the editor, casting director, or what, but she kind of had a problem with it, and she suggested that they change it. And
So
because,
a tame alternative was
Really?
I've
been
was
fucked
a
like
woman.
that since
the woman
grade
they were
school.
working with said, I want to have your abortion highly offensive, and I think a lot of people might. You should probably change it." And so they changed. I haven't been fucked like that since grade school.
It's like that's even better,
and
but
then she asked them to change it back.
change it
And
back.
they said, "No, this one's better."
and
That's funny how that works. That's really strange.
I wish if there's any point where I can put audio in, it might just be of this because their sex sounds incredible.
They said they spent 3 days recording that. Edward Norton and
Oh yeah,
Helena.
we're just practicing it there. Oh, you mean is it Brad Pitt? Somebody they were having sex,
Right, Helena.
Okay,
and
yeah,
Brad
yeah,
Pitt.
yeah,
okay.
X.
But I think I did say Edward. So
Yeah.
maybe
Well,
not
one of the
Edward.
two
Maybe
actors.
they threw Ed in there.
Thumping and
they
moaning.
Yeah, they could have all types of moaning and groaning for 3 days on the set.
Yes, the actors did. If you can't tell, if
Screaming
you've seen
and
this
thumping.
movie already, then you know that we're just trying to avoid alluding to the fact of what happens later. We're trying
There's
to do
the
our
glove.
best in case something, but we're doing our best. We're doing the best we fucking can here, so stick with us. Brad Pitt is cut in this movie too. Jesus
Yeah, he
Christ,
is.
dude!
It
Like,
almost looks like Photoshop.
picking
or
his
something.
like belly button. Yeah, it probably is. Or something. Yeah, that's a good line though. Want to finish her off?
He's
Fucking-
got that down arrow. That's what Chris was editing a photo of you for the movie Buzz. And I was like, Chris, that one's got the down arrow in it. Don't use that one because you can see the little down arrow.
Oh yeah,
Like Brad
Great.
Pitt's little down arrow was on there.
Oh, what is that called?
I don't know. That's why I call it the down
I
arrow.
love the fact that she says, "Who are you talking to?" He says,
We were just
"Shut
talking
up."
about this other day.
He
He's
says,
fucking.
"Shut up."
He's smoking at work. He's smoking at work. You're like it's like just like lighting up at the office. Like he's doing it. Like,
Yeah.
imagine being that comfortable in your position. Like
His boss walks by. You can't smoke in here.
he's like he didn't put it out though. That's the best part. He's like he's over it now. Dude. He is so lost in this right now.
He's
Like,
He's enlightened.
yeah, he is enlightened. He's bought into it.
He's
you
also,
know?
an asshole, running into people and just being a prick.
Yeah,
He doesn't really care. I don't think he's trying to be a prick.
He's
or
been
mean. He's just doing
indifferent.
his own thing, and he can do whatever you want to do too.
I'd say indifferent, and he's been indifferent towards people this entire movie. Like the
Right.
lady, from what I feel, he probably wasn't explaining to that lady on the plane about the dangers of the car crashes and shit because he was trying to be like weird or rude or like get her to stop talking. He was just just having a casual conversation. She probably asked what he did, and he was explaining it to her.
You don't think he was trying to alarm her?
Oh no, not at all.
No,
Really?
No.
I thought he was that snide, like asshole type of vibe. Like he was just saying it to piss her off.
Maybe a little bit when he said a major one.
Yeah, in certain
Yeah,
situations,
like he loved telling her that.
Yeah, but I think.
But he's so jaded in the position that it's like.
Yeah, he's like a single serving friend. This is the conversation that I have.
He's used to this alarming job that he has to do.
She asked.
That's kind of what makes it
exactly. He's
jaded and
detached.
stuff.
Yeah,
you're
jaded,
detached from
whatever.
human feelings and stuff. These jobs will get you, man.
Well, at this point, if you haven't seen the movie, it kind of actually, like when I did see it the first time, it led me to believe that Tyler was the one that blew out his apartment because the guy.
He is.
Well, yeah, but if you haven't seen it, you don't know that yet. But yeah,
well, no, they're alluding to it properly.
Well, once I watched it again, they don't. It's not really. All he does is just kind of describe the things as like homemade and dynamite. Tyler hasn't talked about dynamite yet. He's talked about homemade explosives.
Yeah, but he looks back at it when he mentions.
I had no idea who blew it up. Like when I saw it again, I was like, "Oh, Tyler blew it up." Like I didn't get that at all.
Do you know anyone who has access to homemade dynamite? As this guy's sitting there making homemade dynamite.
Yeah, but yeah.
Maybe I did realize it.
I
if
understand.
they're supposed to get it, but I don't know. I remember watching it again and feeling.
You're starting to get that vibe though, and then the narrator goes, "I'd like to thank the Academy Award." So like he's totally bought into like this nihilistic lifestyle. You know what I mean? Like even if it was Tyler, it's neither here nor there now. He's like, okay, regardless,
Now they think he did it. The police, they think the narrator.
Yeah, well, I mean, he would be the obvious suspect, right? If your place blew up, they'd probably be asking you questions. I would assume.
Yeah, but that's kind of offensive. Like if you didn't do it,
Yeah, but they would start questioning where you were, what you were doing. They want to rule you out.
Is that what
immediately?
Happened? That just happened here in town.
Oh.
She's talking about the condom is the glass slipper of the generation. Like that's fucked up.
Put it on and just
dance all night.
You throw it away, the condom.
Yeah.
Not the stranger, unless you kill them.
She sings the theme to Valley of the Dolls when she leaves.
See, I didn't know what that song was when I heard it. I was like, what is this song? He's so, yeah. She's like, I bought this for $1. He's like, worth every penny.
Like, look at she's like using like
he's very sarcastic.
She's speaking poetically, but using like metaphors like a rape victim on the side of the road.
Yeah. Her dirty talk is pretty awful. Like she's right here, she's clearly trying to seduce him, but it's like
she comes up and grabs his crotch.
I am Jack's repulsed erection.
Yeah. I am Jack's inverted penis. Like a sex crime victim, with her underwear inside out, and you're just like,
are there people out there like that? Like, should you expect something like this to happen to you in life?
No, I mean, yeah, it could happen.
If you're living in a dilapidated house and going to,
someone talks like that,
faking testicular cancer, tuberculosis, 2 kinds of parasites, then maybe you'd meet someone like this. Maybe
I've never met a girl that lays it on that thick.
What lays what on?
Just a sexual vibe. Like I want to, grab your crotch right now. And I don't even know you.
Oh, well, I mean, they know each other reasonably well. They split their groups.
This movie's very confusing.
We didn't really even talk about that. We kind of skimmed over it, but they were going to these self-help groups, and then at some point they split them off, so they went separately.
Right.
To different groups. They split the groups. They're trying
It'd be interesting to have a movie from her point of view, though.
Yeah. You want to know what
be hilarious.
You want to know what she's going to do right now?
You kids.
What's that?
You want to know what she's going to do right now?
Well, yeah, sure. Yeah,
where's she off to?
It seems like it'd be
to find some kind of sex abuse victim
really
to make more analogies about or something.
Because it'd probably be super dirty and just.
Yeah, real gross. She probably pees on the side of the road, and, and then uses a bum's pillow to wipe off. That's what I picture.
Speaking.
That was Kevin Smith should animate that.
Soap. Soap time. Time to make soap. You gotta get fat. First thing you do, right? You render fat. Where do you get fat?
The liposuction.
Liposuction clinic. Exactly. That's disgusting, by the way. You're breaking into a fucking biohazard. I mean, it's all the free fat,
All the time you should be wearing gloves, right?
Yeah, you can manipulate. Oh, man, we're nihilists. We don't believe in sanitation.
We believe in nothing.
We believe in no latex, Lebowski.
Are you going to do Lebowski on Movie Buzz?
Probably at some point. Yeah, that was one. I think that was one I suggested because Philip Seymour Hoffman had passed away. You guys did an episode covering that, so But that was one of the only movies I had that
Barely.
featured him, except Synecdoche, New York, and that one you really have to be in a mood for.
Yeah, I only made it about halfway through that one.
There we go.
I really like that movie a lot. For some
Really?
reason. Yeah. It's one of those, it's kind of like this. You identify with like the kind of, you know,
Oh God. Oh.
the loner male character sort of guy.
Are there people out there that do that? Is that based on reality at all? People stealing soap? Like,
I mean, that's a way to make it. I mean, you know, I don't know. It seems like artistic license, sort of. You know, he's like, well, I'm sure people clearly do make soap and they get fat from places, but they probably don't break into liposuction clinics. I wouldn't guess. This guy's trying to live off the grid,
right? I mean,
You
it
know?
sounds logical. If you need
Yeah.
fat,
but I'm sure you could go
there's
to
a lot
like
of other things you can
some
use fat for.
fucking restaurant and be like, give me your fat, you know, or something like that.
Yeah, the
I
grease
doubt-
traps.
Yeah, because you can't. I'm sure you can't like give someone biohazardous material
Right.
or sell it to them or something. I
You
don't know.
gotta steal it, man. That's why it sounds like people would be out there doing that. There's probably a guy out there.
But it's like how many times could you do it to one facility before they caught on or put camera? You know, I don't
That's
know.
why I need your help, man. That's how these people talk to you.
There's a whole series of videos on YouTube with people putting lye on their hands.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
It doesn't
Just
really
from
do
this movie?
anything. It barely does anything at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I remember Mr. Chris Break over here did that to his own hand.
I did it with something else. But
Did
I
it with something else.
I really like these.
After you saw this in the movie and you did something similar to your own hand,
Yeah.
there's still a scar there to
Yeah,
stay,
it
right?
looks interesting.
He kisses his hand to get it
I always
moist.
thought
Right?
that
Okay, so
It's
does
pretty hardcore.
does
man.
moisture activate the lye? Is that what it is? Moisture activates it or whatever.
That's what they say,
That's
but-
what it seems like.
And
In
so
the
he
YouTube
kisses it
videos,
and
there's
pours the
not.
lye on there, and it starts like bubbling horribly.
That looks like very painful. How long did you keep it on your hand?
I didn't put that on my hand.
Okay, what did you?
I
what
did
you
something
do?
really fucked up. I didn't. I used God, what is it called? It's the acid that you use for like wart removal and shit like that.
What are you doing that for? Because of the movie?
Yeah, I was like, I thought it'd
Okay.
be interesting. I thought it'd be cool to have a scar.
So I
This-
started
Scar,
smoking.
yeah, and
I'm like,
from the movie
I
standpoint,
love how
it's a cool fan thing. If you
Yeah.
met Chuck Palahniuk,
it's
you'd
a
be like,
cult.
hey, dude.
Yeah, and he'd
But
probably
it
be like,
was-
get the fuck away.
It was entirely
he
different.
might be
It was
a little
pretty
different,
weak.
But yeah, dude, this
Scat
movie is
bar,
a
though.
like a cult movie in more ways than one. You know, it's a cult
Yeah,
classic,
cult,
and it
yeah.
actually like causes a cult mentality sort of thing. Like you're really motivated to do some of this shit. Like
Yeah,
that, you know, like
right.
even though I smoked some cigarettes that he smoked. This guy fucking chemically burns himself. You know, there's different extremes, but
It looks like what they're doing here is they're showing you teachings, a philosophy, a way
Right.
of life. And one of the things they do is that burning of the hand. You know, it's kind of a
like a ritual. or
Release
something.
ritual.
yourself, like-
so that's probably why I did it. You know, like not to mutilate.
I thought it
myself,
was
but-
cool. I understood it. I
give
was
yourself to the pain.
Like, I kind of wanted to do it
Like
too, but
just-
I was like, I don't know if I'm that big a
So
fan
what
of
did
Fight
you-
Club.
So when you did it, like how'd you? But even so, like when you were doing it, like what was going through your head? Did you get to the point where you could just sit
It wasn't
there and it was
anything
like,
like that, and even lie's not like that.
did you accept
okay.
accept the pain?
No, I just wanted a cool scar. I didn't even kiss my hand, or I tried. I drew like a kiss, and then I just put the. It was like a brush, you know. It's like wart remover type stuff.
Oh,
and I just
okay.
painted it on
Oh,
there,
God.
and what that does is it eats away the skin, you know, like a wart, and it's pretty insane.
Sir, continue your
doesn't-
conversation, sirs.
it's not
Enjoy
really
yourselves.
there
I'm gonna
anymore.
go take a restroom break.
Oh wait, it's on this slide. Yeah,
So we're supposed to juggle the show while you're gone, or you?
I do believe my scar is gone. I'm looking and I don't see it.
Samantha, you want to?
I can't even remember what hand it
No.
was.
Okay.
Oh, we have to keep
Sorry.
it going, John. We have to keep it going.
I got another factoid.
I like this detail. I like how he's sitting there, standing there, and like he's wearing no underwear clearly, and his pants are hanging off his ass, and you can basically see his ass while he's standing there doing business, wearing some shitty suit.
See, I totally missed that. I wish we could rewind it, but I guess on these commentaries you don't do that.
Yeah, this is a one directional show. I think it just keeps going and going and going, like you're like going to work.
I can't believe he still has a job in this movie.
If you find this, what would you do? He's printing things he's not supposed to print at work, and it's some crazy shit. Like, if you don't talk about this, you don't talk about that, you know? Like, hey, you're not supposed to be using the printer, and then you just print up 100 sheets of this, like, weird first rule, no shirt, no shoes, you know? Well, that's probably the fourth rule, but you know what I'm saying.
Some underground, like, political dogma, like,
Yeah, the boss says, if you found this, what would you do?
yeah, really.
Now he's berating his boss, explaining, you know, he's like, well, whoever wrote that, I'd be careful. Because like I might be a maniac.
It makes you want to go into work and say that to your boss.
Yeah, this is just this whole movie's about rebelling against everything, and they do it so stylishly. I'm good. Thank you, though.
The attitude, that is cool. Like, it totally
His
shifts.
boss is still standing there all freaked out. He gets a phone call. She says,
Just,
"What did she say?"
he said, "Excuse me, I have to take this." I don't even know what she's calling about.
She oh, yeah. No, he picks up the phone and she says, "My tits are going to fall off."
Right.
He just looks at his boss. "I'm sorry, I have to take this."
Is this a work-related call?
Hey.
She's stealing food right now.
Hey, I'm
Welcome back, Zach.
Yeah, she's just so much of
didn't
a
hear enough
handful.
talking.
Like, that's what I mean. Like, she'll be on the screen just doing something crazy. And no, it's like I didn't even realize what she was actually saying. She's just just much of a handful.
She brought him over there because
John,
she
you
thinks
should
she
take
has
one of
breast
these.
cancer, and she wants him to feel on her boobs to see if there's a lump.
Are you almost done with that one?
That's the only reason
We're
why
trying
it's
to-
there.
That's part of the show's getting drunk or high or something. So we're gonna try and keep doing
You
that.
got the moose head.
Yeah, they're pretty good, man, and they're reasonably priced. That's for when you're done.
Is that
there.
Canadian?
Yeah, it's Canadian all the way. Big North, White North. That's Canadian metal.
Look, now she's volunteering. Now she's volunteering to stick her finger in his butthole.
Did he do the thing? Has he gone off on his
She's
boss?
volunteering.
Did he go off on his boss?
Yeah.
I have a note here that I liked that part because like usually that's like a dream sequence, like it cuts and it's like, then, all right,
You know what, Stan? I'm not
And then-
coming in tomorrow.
yeah, and then and then he like pulls out a gun and starts like shooting his boss, and then it cuts back to him sitting there being like, okay, sir.
Right.
But in this, like, it actually went through with it.
Yeah.
I liked it. I would like to know what would happen if he actually went through with it.
With the weapon?
No,
through
no,
what?
with that situation, like where you're just
Which
like,
means
Just telling the boss off.
yeah, and then
not
yeah,
kill-
and
not-
in it not being a dream sequence,
How's that donut behind him? That's correct.
runs into Mr. Loaf on the street.
He just chucks that donut like 15 feet behind him without even looking. Yeah.
Oh my god,
Travis! Just chucks it.
So is that what he went by in testicular cancer, Travis?
No, Cornelius.
Cornelius,
I'm sorry, that's
yeah.
what his name is.
Okay. Man, you're fucking up the names here, man. You're ruining
So
the
many of
movie.
them.
There are so many of them.
I'm in a club, and I can't tell you about it, but the first rule is... I
This
can't
movie's
tell you.
also really funny. Like, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's a satire. Black comedy
What
sort
is
of
the,
thing.
what genres does this fit into? That's
Dark comedy.
Yeah, it's a dark comedy.
Yeah.
It's
Well, that's a
definitely
good title.
it's definitely a satire because it's like an exaggeration sort of, or it's supposed to be. I would say it's taking it one step further. I feel like that the first evolution after a Fight Club, like the first part of that would be kind of like a normal thing, but like going beyond that when they start really fucking shit up, I think that's probably where it gets into the hyperbole there, where it's a little more exaggerated than regular life, like if there are
Right.
people walking around like firebombing places and shit just like as pranks to like make some nihilistic statement. Wow, that'd be pretty incredible. I know that they have the Cacophony Society, but
Yeah.
it's nothing like that. Like those are more like
Are you talking about Project Mayhem?
yeah, once it evolves into that, like I said, the next evolution of the Fight Club or whatever. I think he should have kept his anger inside. Bob's a big motherfucker, like
Those tits.
He definitely got pissed off at Bob, and then like he was like, okay, we're gonna do some Fight Clubbing, and he fucking got taken down like
he
sleeper
thanks him.
hold. Yeah,
Thanks. I'm like, thank you for letting me do that.
his breasts are.
It's cool that he's
hard,
helping him
saggy.
now, before he was getting help from Bob, and now Bob is thanking him,
Yeah,
he got
Bob
to pay
comes
him back
back.
on accident.
There's the dirt.
Bob's a great character, man.
the third man.
Yeah, he just made. I see a lot of faces. Everyone's like, it's like shut up. It means you've been fucking talking dim. Whatever he wants to call them, dim.
How do you get new members if you don't talk about it?
Exactly. That's the point he's trying to make here. He's trying to say they're the strongest, smartest men ever, but they can't hold to, I see. Oh, there's your beer, buddy.
Oh, it's overflowing.
Good
the
work.
top.
Yeah, just put it in there.
Oh wow, we have a
We have
what you call
a
it,
we have a
beer
listener.
wench?
We have a listener that's actually sitting in the Movie Buzzed lounge.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Josephine MacDonald. She is getting. No, it's Savannah Thompson is her name. She listens to the show.
Joey
and-
McDonald.
Yeah. She used to go by the nickname
She's
Joe or
cleaning
something. So, but yeah, she is cleaning up John's moose head that he knocked
I
over.
spilled the drink. Sorry, Savannah. Thank you.
Yeah, some people can handle the premise of the show. No, I was kidding. You're a good man.
You spilled the drink,
You're a good man.
and then all the pressure caused the beer to continue to pour out.
Yep, it's like a volcano of action.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I see a lot of potential, John.
Yeah,
Who's the blonde-haired guy?
Jared Leto.
Is it Leto?
It doesn't look like him.
I thought it was Leto.
I would never have picked
Jared
up
Leto,
on that,
I believe. Oh,
Yeah.
it's starting to skip here a little bit.
This has been happening for a while, so if we seem like we're slightly off here with the, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm just trying to get it. It works.
Movie buzz experience,
Oh.
maybe slightly off.
All right,
fine.
our
But
movie
yeah, it's
just
Jared.
paused.
It's Jared Leto.
Now it's back on.
He doesn't normally look like that, does he?
Their movie buzz experience continues.
Oh, now there's a
Yeah.
fast forwarding involved.
But he doesn't look like that normally because he has bleach blonde hair in this one. I think they gave him a really weird tan job too.
The guy in the back with glasses that looks like one of us or something. You know, like
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
it
he
was in
won some.
Fight Club,
He won
man.
some
the
contest. Be in the next Paramount or
All
the
right,
20th Century
continuity
Fox.
is now off.
No, it's not.
No,
you
I have
didn't
to tell the
You didn't have to
listeners.
fucking mention
I
it.
have to tell the listeners.
No, you
But
don't.
we're gonna get back on.
Yeah, right now we're at the moment where...
They don't even know that it's not even fucked up, dude.
Well, of course
They wouldn't
do.
even
He
know.
says entire generation pumping gas.
We wouldn't even mention this. We could just
Waiting
skip ahead,
tables.
Slaves.
Okay.
White collars.
We don't have to say that to catch them up.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I think it's a
That
common
could be
courtesy.
something we could do too, just for fun to,
I think it's a
Is
common
that
you should
fun?
take it,
We could
Zach.
just read it.
Yeah,
Just take it away, bro.
yeah.
No.
Let's get the listeners back on track.
I don't think you can actually.
Fun to
It's a
read it.
common courtesy. I
We
was
do
just
that
trying
on
to
the Chris
help
Brick
out.
show. Read dialogue. It's fun. You get
Yeah,
to
it's
see a
fun.
little
It's
bit of acting in
snippy.
there.
It's haha. Yeah, I've heard one of those episodes.
do one?
I immediately tuned out.
Our great
No, just
wars,
kidding.
The spiritual war.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
like
don't
that
know.
line.
It's more.
We have no
Our
Great
lives.
Depression.
It's
Our
more
Great Depression
convincing.
is our lives.
It's more convincing when I hear this guy say it, but I can't hear him say it. So I'm just gonna pretend like I can, and you don't have to repeat it.
One day
No,
we'll
you
be
can repeat it.
millionaires. Movie
Yeah,
guys,
let's do
rock
it. Let's
stars.
do
Yeah,
one,
but they
John.
raise them. The thing is,
No,
they
we
raise
won't.
them to make them think. He's saying, everyone is raised to think that you're like super special. You can be a rock star. You can be whatever you want. You just gotta have the know-how and the want to. But that's not enough.
How many people out there have been raised like that?
That is not
We're
enough.
very
I think everyone, a lot of people.
pissed off.
yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah.
Our generation, man.
Dude,
Our
at one point,
generation,
I gotta
man,
make
we're
a
screwed.
request.
What's that?
At one point, can all three of us in unison say the lines together for maybe like a 5 to 7
No,
period?
absolutely, yeah. I just want to wait to a point when there's like 3 people talking. Like maybe when they're.
No, I want to say it like poetry all at the same time. Like we all speak, not like dialogue back and forth.
Okay. So, are we gonna do this Lou one or what?
Yeah,
Okay.
Lou.
The owner of this place where they're holding the fight club is coming downstairs, and they're going to fucking.
I'm fucking Lou.
Okay, who the fuck are you?
I really like
Tyler
this Lou
Durden.
character.
Oh, this is really drawn out dialogue. It's real bad. Dead
Who
air.
told you motherfuckers that you could use my place?
We have a deal worked out with Irvin. Irvin? Irvin's at home with a broken collarbone. He don't own this place. I do. This is a horrible. How much
It's
money
going
is
too
it given for
fast.
this? Yeah.
Is no money.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, the owner of the place comes down.
Oh,
He's like, "What the fuck are you
that was a
doing here?"
bomb.
He's like, "Irvin said we could be
Little
here," which is the bartender. He's at home with a broken collarbone,
out of here right
presumably because he's in
now.
Fight
You should
Club,
join Our
right?
club.
Right. Irvin's
You should
probably
join our club.
Irvin's probably
You're
at
about
home
to
because
join
he's in Fight Club, like Fight
Yeah.
Club. Broke his collarbone, is what you're saying.
Yeah, Irving's on with the broken.
Yep.
collarbone.
So Lou goes ahead and
the
just like
Miami
lays it
Fight
on
Club.
old Pity there, Tyler Durden.
But he's engaging in a Fight Club activity. He doesn't even know it. I think
Yeah,
that's
no,
very interesting.
he's
he's allowing the guy to know the feeling.
see that. Yeah, he's he's letting him in on it. God, he's so good.
Yeah, he's like,
You know?
go ahead and punch me.
He's got it planned out.
He's doing exactly what he did with Edward Norton. Punch me.
Yeah, he's already got it. Fucker's already got it planned out. He's like, we're gonna initiate Lou. You're on, Lou.
Look how everyone's just listening to him. He's putting his hand up, and a mass of people just stopped.
It's really bad. Yeah,
He's
they were
turned
about to
Jesus
jump
At
in,
this point, he's got disciples.
Right. It is a pack. It is a
kick to
flock.
the face. Yeah, he's like, I have a point to prove here. Just relax. He's a tough guy. We get it. You're the leader of the pack guy. But yeah, this is pretty much him like establishing himself as the guy.
Yeah,
like,
they say who what is this?
like, he was
Who's
kind
the
of like-
owner? And it's like I am. This is Fight Club. He took credit. He took ownership.
yeah, like he was kind of like
And now he's doing what he believes needs to be done.
Mm-hmm. They're like, okay, we recognize this guy kind of started it, but then this is like where he actually steps up and puts his like well-being on the line for the good of the group. or whatever.
Yeah.
And this is where his nihilistic sort of tendencies fall apart.
He had a plan too, you know. He's like, I'm gonna let this guy beat the hell out of me and then gross him out by what he did to me.
I'm just saying.
It's genius.
This nihilism thing kind of starts falling apart when you're like doing shit to preserve the group, and you know, you got these rules, you got a set number of rules that you don't, you know,
some type of pack rule.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah,
you don't believe in
going to be rules.
I don't believe in
society,
anything
right?
except what this guy tells me to believe, and the
Right.
rules that
Well,
he establishes.
The sheeple, you know, they don't need to think that far.
Everyday sheeple, bro.
And this is where he comes up with the idea of starting, you know, homework assignments.
Why does this give him that idea?
Because he just realized how much he achieved by allowing this guy to experience life and experience the joy of fighting. He's trying to self-fighting. He wants people to fight because it makes them feel good. It's a form of meditation, you know, for him. And he's trying to get people to do it.
I like it.
And the way he found out
I'll allow it.
is he just noticed what happened there.
He did. I like
So now
it.
he wants everyone to do it.
When he sits down after the fight, he grabs his leg and pulls it up to cross it over the other leg,
Yeah.
presumably because he, you know, probably like curb stomped his leg or something. I don't know. He fucked him up pretty good.
He's still cocky. He just took a real big beating.
But he's got people there handing him cigarettes, you know,
Yeah.
congratulating him, patting him on
Camera
the back.
shakes because the cameraman's laughing.
Yeah. Oh, really nice. That's a good thing to notice. I mean, we're all probably off now since we took a 5-second delay, so.
Well, with the scene where he's spraying him down, the cameraman.
Yeah.
is
I'm just
laughing.
saying. Yeah.
He just sprayed the priest.
So
It's
their
interesting
first,
how the priest reacts.
their first homework assignment was a group assignment for everyone to go out and start a fight with someone random,
Stranger.
or a stranger.
It definitely solidified the pack, you know, like made them grow stronger together.
Yeah,
He's just looking-
because now now they'll get the feeling that he had, like you
Yeah.
said, Chris Break, like what it's like to let somebody let go. I love that the priest seems to be the first one to retaliate out of everybody. He's the first one to
He's the first one that they show.
eye for an eye. That shit. He's like, I've read the Bible, eye for an eye. He's immediately ready to take it fucking medieval.
Oh, you got the Gandalf over there.
Elementary, my dear.
He's still working at this job barely. The boss character is really funny in this movie.
So,
He's a good straight man.
yeah, I love that the boss like says something to him, confronts him, and he goes, "I am Jack's complete like a surprise." He goes, "What? Like, how would you respond to that if someone came at you with that saying before this movie came out? You had no idea. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Who's this Jack fellow, and why isn't he surprised?" Oh, okay.
I should probably put that down too as well.
Ooh, and oh, you don't need that anymore. It's just hanging out with man. You just hanging out with friends, watching a movie,
He's black.
getting fucked up in private. There's no pressure. Everybody else is presumably doing the same.
Who's pressured?
You apparently.
No, I just don't want to be too high when I have to leave here. I'm smoking marijuana.
When do you have to leave here,
I don't know. I have no idea.
dude? This movie still has like an hour. Oh, the fight we've all been
You know
waiting
what I'm
for.
saying?
Do I?
I'm not trying to synergize.
Electricize. There's an hour and a minute left in this movie.
Chris, do you think you could do this?
Fight yourself.
I don't know. I think I tried once. It's hard to slap yourself.
Have you ever been in a fight, a physical fight?
We tried to do this at one point. I only did one or two, and I think the night
Who's we?
myself and
A friend.
Mr. Caleb might have been involved, as well as John,
Oh,
and maybe my friend Kevin.
nice.
I think maybe my friend Matt. We all tried to do this, and we would go down behind. We'd go down in a big hill behind a hospital at night.
Okay.
You know,
I'm
and
following
we,
you.
We'd go down the big hill, the grass.
Fight. I never got to do it.
Yeah,
The
because
security
Oh,
guard
a
interrupted
cop-
the fight.
Well, that was a question I was going to ask.
police
Have you ever
officer
been
showed up.
in a fight club? Apparently you have.
They started one and they were doing it. I never got to experience it. What was that
You
like?
son of a bitch.
We didn't get too hard, but it was interesting. But it made me not want to fight. You know,
Oh,
I was
God.
Like, dude, I was like, I don't know if I'm good at this.
Sorry, dude,
Like,
this
you know,
seems
you're getting
gross.
fucking
He
beat
gets the
up.
fuck
It was
beat
kind of
up.
strange.
He beats the shit out of himself and crawls through broken glass. All the while his nose is like gushing blood. He crawls up to this guy on hands and knees like, just give me the paychecks.
I think that was the first night I ever got searched by the police in my life.
We did a fight club?
Yeah. because they shone the light down on us, and they thought we were back there like doing drugs or
Yeah, I
fucking
guess.
or something.
Yeah.
Like why?
No, sir, we're all just fucking.
It's like, well, we're just hanging out, we're punching each other.
No, no concern here.
We're all good friends.
Or bad
I
friends.
remember the cop got mad because somebody had a cone,
Oh, yeah.
a street cone in the back of their car. He said, "Better not say DPW on that."
Yeah.
Ooh, did it say it?
I think it did, but he didn't look.
It better not.
Yeah, it was like one of those inane threats.
No,
you know,
it
he was
did.
just trying to give us a lashing or whatever.
He said to go put it back where he took it from.
Yeah, it's like, well, what if it does? You know, well,
That better be a cone that you bought
well,
with
then
your own money.
Yeah.
That's pretty much
Where do you
him
buy
saying.
road cones, officer?
Well, no, he sees you have a stolen road cone, and what he tells you to do is
Yeah.
go put it back where you got it from, and he lets you go. It's like, dude, you just pass that off.
Keep
you want
on
that to be
policing.
somebody else's problem. You just want me to go throw that back out on public property and
Yeah.
see what happens.
keep on being an effective police, sir. Your policing
We're
abilities
just down here fighting and
are
stealing
unparalleled.
From
Yeah.
the city. Well, you
We're just down
youngers
here
just go back to your.
fighting and stealing from the city, like you said.
No,
I
they-
couldn't have put it better myself.
They all have homework
I tried,
assignments.
but I couldn't. Now they're starting to get a little. Now they're starting to get a little rambunctious.
I always wanted to do this, or I was wondered if it would work.
The
What,
magnets.
Yeah, the magnets at the video
Yeah.
store.
Are they demagnetizing them or are they magnetizing them?
I think they would both have the same effect if you change the magnetization. You know, it messes it up. But
Well, I
I think
thought,
they
like,
demagnetize. I
Where
think
you
I
could
thought
just
it was-
like walk out with them, right? And they wouldn't set the thing off. And then
No,
when
I think
it
they were
erases the
erasing
whole
the
tape.
tapes.
My dad.
oh,
has
they
one of
erased the
those.
tapes.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah. Okay. That. Sorry. It took me
Yeah,
a
it
minute.
erases the whole tape. Yeah, that's what that weird.
I thought
that's what
maybe it was
is.
something like
They
you know.
reversed the.
Well, I thought maybe it was like something like maybe they were like magnetizing them,
Right.
and then when they check
So-
them out,
oh,
it
okay.
magnetizes them again. So every time they walk through the thing, it goes off like the alarm or whatever, you know,
Right.
that detects when people steal stuff.
And for all we know, that is what they. What
It's
it
not
is.
though. No, it's not. You guys are completely correct. I'm just an asshole.
They reversed the spikes on warning severe tire damage. They turned them backwards.
Yeah, and they feed all the pigeons at the car lot. That's
Like, this
pretty
is
nice.
some
On the
cool
roof.
stuff. Like what's that guy's name? Banksy,
Chuck Palahniuk.
the Banksy.
Oh,
the
Banksy, yeah, the street artist, yeah.
This is like his level type of stuff. I'm really impressed by what that guy does.
Yeah, they reprinted new.
That's crazy. The thought and stuff that
Yeah.
that goes into that.
Police sees excrement capulet. What was that?
Oh, yeah. So,
catapult.
hey, no.
It's an excrement
Hey,
catapult.
I got this for you right here, sir. Oh no, I just had it written down somewhere. Hold on. Okay.
What are they doing?
So-
What are they doing with an excrement catapult?
Okay, so the article clippings say police sees excrement catapult, performance artist molested, power outage at local mall, fountain befouled, and missing monkeys found shaved. and then they progress like super quickly, you know, from these pranks to like holding hostages and like arson. They blow out the front of that computer shop and shit
Yeah, he just walks into a liquor store and pulls a guy out of the back with a gun.
with a gun. Yep, old Raymond K. Hessel.
Did you guys think he was gonna shoot the guy when you first saw it?
I didn't know what he was gonna do. I was like,
Yeah,
"What is
it's
this?
like,
What the? Yeah." He said human sacrifice, so yeah, of course, you're led to believe. Yeah, he's probably gonna put one in him. I wanted to be a recruit so badly.
Yeah,
I was like, "There's got to be a fight club around here somewhere." You know, I'd be joining a little late, but whatever.
He's holding somebody for ransom. Essentially, is what he's doing.
Yeah,
But you know, he's snatching somebody up and demanding they do something, putting a gun to their head and saying, "I'm going to come kill you if you don't do it." You know, like some people would say, rob a bank. You know that, but this guy's saying, "I want you to make the most of your life
Right.
and do everything that you want to do and to achieve your dreams. If you do not do this, I will come back in 6 months and shoot you in your face."
yeah, it's a good thing. Like what he's challenging
wanted
him
to
to
be
do is
a
his own
veterinarian.
dreams or whatever. It's like, what does you want to be in life? He's like, I want to be a veterinarian or whatever.
Oh well. So how's that go along with your nihilistic thing? Like, you know, I don't.
yes,
I don't
yeah,
believe in animal care.
Right.
I don't believe in pets. You know, we should leave pets alone and just let them be.
Well, he's probably just fucking with this guy at this
Yeah.
point.
What, you want him
But
to
he's
go?
doing a good
Oh,
thing.
you want him
It's
to go
not
back
a-
to community college, some giant institution that you apparently don't believe in, or setting fire to buildings similar to these? Like, make up your mind, man. You're
Right.
fucking.
Well,
Your
that's-
philosophy is convoluted.
That's the
and it's-
smirk on his face. I don't think he's got it
Yeah,
written down.
okay.
On, you know,
Yeah, he's like, but you know, I'm just doing this because it's how I feel. It's what you know. I think that's a big thing about existentialism too. It's kind of just like, you know, going with that feeling, just kind of going with what you feel like you should be doing.
Not a lot nailed down.
You know, he's like, well, fuck, you know, this guy's working on this mini mart, blah, blah, blah. Like, he needs to be released. You know?
He's trying to help the guy, you know.
Set him
What's the
free.
one thing that you
So to
want to be
speak.
doing in life? It's not this.
But it just seems like if you're a nihilist, the last thing you would be
Would be
doing
doing
is
is
caring
helping
about other
people,
people. Yeah,
right.
even just giving a shit about them. Like,
Yeah.
right or wrong, you know?
This whole nihilism thing is just
Yeah.
it's falling apart.
It's,
as
a
everything.
crock. It's a pyramid scheme on top of a
But this probably doesn't
Albanian
represent true.
Albanian Prince email chain.
I guess you're saying it doesn't represent true nihilism.
I don't know. Because I can't tell you, you know.
Apparently, it doesn't.
Well, I wouldn't. I mean, no structure, right? They don't believe in things like that, like institutions and things. But it seems like he's creating an institution with his philosophies.
Here's one. You're
That's
not
true.
your child.
It falls apart.
You know what I
You're not
mean?
how much money you have in the bank.
Yeah.
These are his philosophies. You know,
Oh, is this where it
you're not the
like
car you
shifts?
drive.
They do that little. What do they call this?
You're not the contents of your wallet.
Here it goes. Like it like pulsates.
You're not your fucking khakis.
Yeah.
I feel like those are all really good messages.
You're the all singing, all dancing prep of the world. Like, okay, we get it, man.
I don't feel like that last one is good. But
Well, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah,
But the-
you're just
before that,
part
I'm-
of the whole to do, whatever,
Yeah.
man. Like, I get it. Okay, bro, you're cool, man. I got it. I don't know if he just kept coming at me like that, you know, I might get kind of tired of it.
Well, I think he is slightly.
Yeah, the narrator definitely starts getting a little peeved, you know. Like Tyler gets a little too big for his britches, for this guy's favor. Yeah.
I'm really intrigued.
Way to
by
keep
this.
it going, guys.
That's what happens. Well, you know, either I'm talking
Keep
too
it-
much or not
keep it
enough.
going
I
now,
don't know.
yeah.
You know,
Not
I don't-
enough.
I don't
Chloe's
have
dead.
a
Chloe's.
rhythm.
We found out Chloe's dead. He asked how it happened. She doesn't.
See, there you go.
Yeah. She doesn't think he cares. And you know what? He probably doesn't really give a shit about any of the things that have happened prior to this. Right now, he's so deep in it.
they considered Courtney Love and Winona Ryder for the role of Marlowe.
Pass. I think that's pretty much perfect. I think this
Yeah.
movie is perfectly casted. Period.
Yeah,
That's just how I feel about it.
I don't think either one of them. I think Delia. What's her name? Dietz.
Oh yeah,
Lydia.
Winona.
I think Lydia Dietz would have been what we would have gotten here, and I don't think that would have
Oh
been
yeah,
good.
no, nope. It would have been a reprise.
Yeah.
We would have got
and then Reese
Lydia-
Witherspoon. They wanted the studio wanted Reese Witherspoon to be.
That's
what
a
an
studio
awful
move.
choice. That would be an awful choice.
That's a studio
Well, we
move.
went and saw. I
Probably
went
one
and
of
saw
English
recently
actors never heard of.
that new RoboCop. and-
Exactly. They wanted a big name.
well, the director that's doing the new RoboCop, it's his first Hollywood feature, and everyone's been tearing that movie a new asshole. I fucking did not care for it.
You didn't
But-
like the new RoboCop?
No, not at all. But
I haven't seen
it's
that
the
one.
director. Don't. But it's the director. Yeah, I was pissed. You know, I got free these advanced screening tickets. Like, don't pay to see it unless you go to a $1 movie or less.
When
But
did Michael Keaton become like an action star? Is that
he's
something
not.
he does
He's not
now?
an action star really. He's like the CEO, so he doesn't really do much action.
Oh.
He does a lot of talking. But this guy the director had a lot of problems working this. It was his first Hollywood movie, and he said 9 times out of 10 the studio would reject his ideas, and that was.
That sucks.
He said he had the worst experience of his life directing this movie, and it's his first movie going from independent director to RoboCop franchise reboot,
Yeah.
or whatever
You know,
remake. Well, it was like a reboot because they did a lot of different things with the story.
You don't want to work with the big names.
No, and you could totally tell there was a lot of studio decisions that kind of fucked it. It's
Well,
along the lines of a Reese Witherspoon casting as Martha Singer.
I'm pretty sure the philosophy works that if you walk in and fire somebody the first day as a director, I think that's something you're supposed to do. That's what they say. It's like the standard move by directors: walk in the first day and fire somebody on the set.
Really?
To establish your authority.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, they've advanced here, and now they have some random dude waiting on the porch. So it seems. He's probably been in one of the random fighting circles, right? You've probably seen his face
It's
once
Jared
or twice,
Leto.
maybe.
Is that Jared Leto on the
No.
door?
I thought
Is
it
it?
was.
Oh, okay. Is he the? Oh yeah, he has the hat on.
Yeah.
You can't see it. Oh no, it's not.
No.
Incorrect.
Who is that?
I don't know. It's a random recruit. He's too young to train. They don't have any trainees, by the way, and they should actually probably take on some recruits just to establish themselves.
Bad news, friend.
But they go outside to deter these people, and they have to wait out there. What was it, 3 nights or something before they can be let in?
Yeah, 3 nights and 3 days without food or water.
Or encouragement. Correct. That's the main thing. Actually, it's anti-encouragement. They tell him they're, well, right now he's telling him he's going to call the police for trespassing.
It feels scripted, It feels like Tyler has a script. He goes out, is just calmly reading and like, this is phase 2 of you on the porch.
This guy with
But
the
it's
broom.
yeah, but he's doing it full force. He's hitting with the broom full force. But the way they say these things are kind of nasty,
Yeah, now he's getting nasty to him for sure.
I'm gonna go get a shovel.
Not like that guy. That wasn't too bad. Like that was kind of tame compared to like what they say to old Bob here.
They go easy on Bob, don't they? He tries to, doesn't he?
Well, at one point, yeah.
I like when he says $100 in personal.
$300 personal burial money.
Yeah, that's a stipulation.
Yeah, they have to have boots, socks, clothes, and
the guy
$300 personal burial money.
Shows up with that through the door and stuff.
Which means they have to kill him. Or if he dies, they're gonna bury him.
Yeah,
It's just like,
and it's gonna cost for yeah, but you're too old, fat man. Like, and your tits are too big. Like people that have weight issues. If you've ever like been overweight or whatever, like when someone comments on it, it's definitely that shit stings like to the core. Like he's been dealing with that his entire life. Like he's almost in his 50s probably. Like it's funny because apparently Meatloaf lost a bunch of weight prior to this.
Really?
The first role he gets after he loses all this weight is like,
fat.
we're gonna put this big old fat suit on you. You have to wear this prosthetic the whole time. So he might have lost more weight because he had to wear that.
Right. That was like 100-pound fat suit.
Yep. Time to shave the heads. There he is, waiting outside. You're too fucking old, fatty. You are too fucking old.
well, now it's the new guy.
There you go.
That's
And
Jared
you, what does
Leto.
he say?
Yeah,
Too fucking
blonde.
blonde. He fucking screams at the guy too. It's pretty bad. But yeah, then they do a little star swipe, a little fade, and then all of a sudden he's got there's a dozen or so people working there, and Tyler's motivating them with a bullhorn.
I feel like that's where the nihilism comes in, the willfulness to give yourself into someone that's going to tell you something like that. It's like very bleak.
Yeah, just tell them how they're nothing special,
Right.
and they're just doing what he's telling them to do.
Yeah, like work, like this mundane. There's like digging holes, basically. It seemed like
He doesn't have to pay for anything.
no.
Everywhere he goes, people just give him the nod like he's the goddamn godfather.
Yeah. Yep. You don't disrespect this guy. You only ask him favors on his daughter's wedding day. Get in line, motherfucker. Everybody's, But then all of a sudden he becomes a trend. Everyone's shaving their heads.
That reminds
doing
me
what
of
he's
your guys'
saying,
house.
like
It does look like
we're all
their
shaving
house.
our heads. No.
I remember in that house you shaved your head one time for
Sure, I've shaved my head
to
many
be
times.
look like Hunter
S. Thompson.
for another Halloween. Yeah, I remember that you shaved the U shape in your head.
I've done that twice.
I know we're not jumping ahead, but
Actually-
knowing everything that you know about this guy and how the movie ends,
Yeah.
it's really funny how he interacts with people. Like
Yeah,
he's,
this scene right
he
here.
screams at Bob, and then he goes and helps Bob. Or like here he's like, "What the fuck did you guys do?"
Yeah, and then
They're like,
and then
"Wait,
he goes
what?"
and chills out in the other room. But now I think I see where the $300 personal burial money goes. They just buy a bunch of beers, and like clippers to shave their heads, and like tools and organic things. So thanks for that money. Like, because the burial money goes for naught, because all they do is throw you in a fucking hole in the garden.
That they have you digging in the back.
Yeah, that you're digging
what
yourself
they're all
anyway.
doing
You're
out
digging your own grave back there
They
anyway.
got paid for like the paint or whatever that was on the side of the building.
Yeah,
I'm sure they steal it.
exactly. They pay for like the paint and the Molotov cocktails and some beer.
Well, I feel like there's some sort of group organization. It feels like they have something going on.
I imagine
Yeah,
they
they
steal
started-
a lot of stuff, but no, actually, the way it just here's
He
how-
has corporate sponsorship by now
Yes.
because the
There you
boss
go.
lady.
Yeah, they have forms of income.
And every single one of these guys, one of them probably worked at a Menards or someplace that sold paint.
Oh yeah,
You
right.
know, like that's how they got into the hotel in the first place. Everybody is in Fight Club.
Right.
yeah. Then everyone, ends up being
beer is
super
given
connected
to
by
them.
the end of the movie, like creepily. So where it's like, who do you trust? Is this guy looking at me weird? Sort of thing. It gets too big for the britches.
Everything's
That
given
was
to 'em.
that was the guy. They have the chief of police or whatever that was on the news, and he was like, underground boxing clubs, like like this was fucking 1940s mayor or something, like these boxing clubs. Like, nope.
Every single person serving the food is a fucking just
They're on the inside.
they're everywhere.
They're all pissed at him because he called it a fucking boxing club.
To prepare for the roles, Edward Norton and Brad
Ooh.
Pitt took basic lessons in boxing.
Breaking news.
Oh.
Yeah,
Breaking
they
news.
took
They took what?
boxing lessons.
Okay.
Edward Norton and Brad Pitt took boxing lessons.
So maybe it's just like an inside
Taekwondo
joke.
Is that Richard
and
Jenkins?
grappling.
No, I don't believe it.
Man,
No,
it
it's
looks
And they
not.
studied hours of UFC programming.
Nice.
He got drunk
Well,
and he
programming.
watched UFC.
UFC? UFC?
Yeah, they watched a lot of UFC to prepare for their roles.
They just watched it.
Yeah.
They didn't participate. Because like that looks like a UFC move. The way he punched him, that's kind of
It
like
does.
a quick, like a, like you draw back real fast. Like,
This doesn't look like mafia, but he's sitting there beating the fuck out of the chief of police
yeah,
at his own conference.
and it's all and there's
the
so
entire staff of the place, you know.
the
they're
wait
like-
staff, yeah.
the whole wait staff just
But
jumps
it's
them.
such a big conference that there's so many of them that when there's like 10 of them missing, no one notices. You know?
Yeah, they own the place. We are the people that do your food.
Yeah, and even if they are noticing, it's the people. Yeah,
The people they're complaining to are in on it.
he's
Right.
basically saying he's telling them to declare there's no underground group. You know, they're just deny
Or we're
everything.
going to cut
and we're
off
gonna-
your balls.
We're gonna continue what we do, and we're gonna cut off your balls. Like we're the people you depend on.
Cook your meals, haul
Haul
your
your trash.
trash.
Drive your ambulances. We guard you while you sleep.
Do not.
Do not fuck with us. Right in his face, you know. He's got duct tape over his mouth, and he's got a fucking
Rubber band around his balls.
that are ice cold. You know, like you take this guy seriously, and a hunting knife like a foot from his face. You do what the guy says, right?
Yeah, at your own conference. They're just showing how powerful they are. But
Here's a little trivia right here, John. As they run away, Meatloaf's fat suit is exposed.
Is it really?
It is. It bounces like horribly. You know, it's like there's no way the human body move like. You just have to kind of watch it. Here comes the other Durango. He comes the other direction. Right here.
Oh, yeah.
It's like down at his waist. Like his tits are like down at his
those are
waist.
just his saggy tits.
Yeah, but they're super far. You can see it if you watch it kind of in slow motion too. You can see it move all the way. Like it doesn't look natural anyway.
I'm
There's
looking at
no way
that
his
trying to
breasts
see
hang down
Jared
that low.
Leto in there. I just
Right
don't
there.
see it.
Yep. Norton v. Leto. This is gonna be a sexy fight.
He was unrecognizable in Dallas Buyers Club, man. I had no idea. At
I haven't
first,
seen it yet.
at first I thought he was a woman, and then after that, it was like, man, that's Jared Leto.
This point, like right here, after he fucking destroys him with complete unadulterated rage, there's some pretty good like lines that come up here.
He
You
broke a
know,
rule of Fight Club. When
What's
the person
that?
goes limp,
yeah,
Mm.
goes limp,
must
taps
stop.
out. You have to stop the fight. But you know, why not?
Who's the guy with the chops? The mutton chops? Does anyone know
I
who
don't
that
know.
is?
Yeah,
let me see him.
Edward Burnside. He's the
Yeah.
guy. He's the bartender.
Irving?
Irvin, yeah. I'm sure it's something simple. But yeah, Edward Norton just continues to melee.
I like that shot of
His
the.
face.
It's blurry. Like that guy right there with his hair.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
Sober
Irvin.
up looking at an all
Irvin
white
or
jury.
Irving. He's the guy who owns the place.
Oh, okay.
And then Luke comes in.
No,
Irvin's at home.
he's the bartender or whatever.
Does anyone know anything about who the actor is?
No, sir. We
Zach's
might
on
have
it.
some information shortly.
Zach's on the attack.
I'm on it, sleuthing here as we speak, sir. Where'd you go, Psycho Boy? And he says, "That's awesome."
I feel like it's destroying something beautiful. You ever been so enraged that you?
Yeah,
wanted to
that's
do
a good
that?
line. I can
it is.
definitely sympathize with
I
that
punched
guy.
so many
Empathize,
babies in
whatever.
their faces
Get him in the
Did-
fucking hospital.
just because they were too goddamn cute.
Played by, oh man, Dave Thomas.
He wanted to breathe fumes and whatnot.
I like this bumper sticker when they pull away.
Don't worry, Mr. Durden.
Recycle your
Yeah,
heads.
that guy is like, what's the word? Gaunt. Like his face is just like white and drawn in and like tight.
Caleb looking.
They spread false information. That's my favorite part. You know, bumper stickers, just anything that can just like that recycle your animals. Like they're encouraging people, making them think that's okay to put their dead animals in the recycle bin.
It fits right along with some of those, you know, like Earth
Oh, is this-
awareness stickers and stuff. You know, it could pass as not a joke.
Yeah.
Oh, is this where they? Is this the? Okay, yeah. Their shit's about to go down.
Did you know, Zach, that you can use old motor oil to fertilize your lawn?
Oh yeah, no,
that was
yeah.
on the factoid.
That
That was on the billboard.
Yeah,
They put up. What was the factoid?
I was just joking.
I don't know
Like,
if you ever done that. We destroyed
you
many
can do that.
bushes
Yeah.
doing that.
really? So it's worked.
My dad, he used to dump all the chemicals out, like the old motor oil shit he didn't
Holy
need.
shit, dude.
He would dump it out on the side of the house,
It killed all the stuff.
And yeah, he was just that's where he would dump it. And then fucking 6 years go by, and the bush is completely dead. Huge bush, evergreen. You don't kill those things.
So he's encouraging people to go out there and just kill their whole lawns, like on a mass group scale.
Well, right now, Edward Norton's like complaining because this thing has gotten out of hand, so to speak, like as he feels, and he feels like he hasn't been let in on the thing, and he's like, "We started it. Remember, I punched you in the fucking ear. Technically, I started it."
What is he angry about here?
He's jealous because he's doing things without telling them.
He doesn't know what's going
his
on.
Business partner.
Yeah, exactly. We're friends, like we're. Nope. Tyler's like he has one vision, like straight ahead, like these guys.
Tyler wants to take it more hardcore, and then
Everyone thinks Tyler invented it.
So the guy that plays Irvin, his name, I have it right here. His name is Paul Dillon. He's been in 41. He has 41 credits in movies, which is incredible. That's a lot.
I bet he's got some great roles.
He's been in The Shield.
Nah.
Which is a show that was kind of big. He's been in CSI, of course, like a walk-on. CSI Miami. The Pretender.
I did that to Avery one time. He wouldn't stop bothering me about the radio station or something.
He's uncredited in this movie.
Yeah, it was all raining and stuff.
He's uncredited in this one movie, though, which is kind of funny. He's in Law & Order.
He's uncredited in Fight Club?
Yes. He was in Austin Powers. He was in NYPD Blue. Natural Born Killers.
Who did he play in Austin Powers?
Was it like he was Patty O'Brien?
Is that
Sounds
the
like
Irish
the Irish
guy?
guy. Yeah, the original
They want
one.
to be Lucky Charms.
He was in Natural Born Killers. He's uncredited as a credited. That's a good word.
One of my best friends is uncredited in
as
Natural Born
a
Killers.
Yeah, Jack might know him.
He's a prison inmate who breaks TV.
That's
so
Jack. No, Jack was like the prison inmate next to the guy with the head on the stick.
Yeah,
well,
he
this
was
is the prison inmate who breaks the TV.
Wow, they probably bumped heads.
He's also in the show Missing Persons. I don't know, but yeah, he's been in. I don't know. He has 41 acting credits. But yeah, Tyler just kind of
Dawson's Creek.
No, but yeah, Tyler just kind of told the narrator to let go, just accept what's happening here, right?
So, John, you said that you've done this. You've taken your hands off the wheel just to fuck with your passenger.
Yeah. It didn't get to that level. Obviously, I didn't wreck the car, but just to get him to shut up.
Oh, what? How far did you let it go?
To deliver the speech of just let go.
Did you cross the line? Did you deliver the whole speech? You had the whole time to be like,
I just
look at yourself.
No,
Look at yourself. She's like, what? What are you talking about? Put your hands on the fucking wheel.
Yeah, and he was so
Just
afraid
let
that
go.
I wasn't manning the wheel. He shut up. It worked, but
It worked. So point Rapp.
Avery's a funny guy.
He was always wearing cardigans. I remember that. He was a fan of the cardigan, right? He had a sweater a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Somebody that you would never really know, probably.
Last I heard from Avery, he was ice fishing in Alaska, and he's really into Bob Dylan.
Who isn't doing both of those things?
No, but wasn't he going to? How many shows did he go to?
He went to a lot of them. Like, didn't he travel with him?
I think so. He went to hundreds of shows.
He'd show up and be, hey, man, you want to go see Bob at this date and this date and this date?
They also...
where have you been for the last 3 years?
They also just exposed, too, that Tyler was the one that blew up the apartment.
Oh, they explained.
Yeah, I think we said that, but yeah. He did. He's a prick. A1. Grade A1 prick. Tyler Durden.
Tyler comes in and talks to him while he's sleeping.
The best part is when
Like
they
a
go...
dad.
When he goes to crash the car, they all buckle up. Like,
Do they?
Yeah.
Like, they're
It's like-
in on it.
what? Do they file like, they don't show that. Did they file a police report? What happened to the people in the other car? Like, are they dead now? Like, all for the sake of what? Like, what was the point there except just, okay.
Chaos.
That's where the nihilism.
Yeah, just the chaos, right? But
chaos
only
and
enough
no
chaos
order,
to where we don't die, so buckle your safety belts. Like,
Right,
we only
yeah.
let it go so far here. Like, we have to stay alive to preserve the chaos.
Look at all
Right.
those driver's license. Human sacrifices.
Yeah, they've done a lot of human sacrifices, like the Raymond K. Hessel one, where they force you to do what you want to do. and
Right.
check
It's a
up on
good. It's a good human sacrifice.
you. Yeah,
There's like 100 people in the house.
yeah.
No,
Exactly.
All
Like I said,
aggressively doing
don't-
one task.
they
Look at
don't
'em.
believe in these like organizations and shit, but that's exactly what the fuck
right.
they're doing.
They're making an organization to fuck up organizations.
Which is kind of how. It's a weird like theological thing, but
Yeah, what is that? Like
Guy smoking a cigarette. He goes, "You fucking kidding me? Do you know how much ether we have in this goddamn house?"
I don't know. I had a. Yeah. Word. Oh gosh, I'm totally lost here. 'Cause I don't have
Disinformation.
any
You see
notes
that? They have,
They have a
anymore,
whole
so-
section.
Yeah, they have files with disinformation. I forgot the other one already.
Forgot the other what?
Mischief. It
Oh,
said one file folder said mischief, one said disinformation.
that's always nice. I don't know which one we're gonna dig into today.
Polinick said that he found the film to be an improvement on his novel.
Yeah, I would say that this is. I saw this first. Did you read the book first, Chris?
No, I
or-
saw this first.
So did I. I definitely. I mean, this movie was definitely more impactful than the book to me, but that was because I knew kind of what to expect in the book. There wasn't enough change in the book to where it was like more impactful. Like they got the idea across of what the book comes across very well in this. Like the things they change, like how they meet instead of on the nude beach or whatever. They're kind of inconsequential to the actual idea of the story, like the moral of the tale.
It's pretty insane how accurate this is compared to the text. Like it's almost spot on.
I was gonna say it seems spot on. And what are the things that they did change? Because
Well,
he's saying that he feels like those minute changes were for the better.
Well, no, who me?
The
Oh,
Polinick
okay.
in the quote or
well,
whatever, the factoid.
Oh, well,
He
I mean,
says
like,
that those changes were better, but what did he change?
well, it seems like the way they met. Like I said, they were on a nude beach when they first met, and Tyler was making
Okay.
like a sundial clock.
Yeah, I
with
remember
these
that being
rocks in
very
the sand
cool
or
in
whatever.
the book.
He was
Yeah.
spending hours
Yeah.
completing one crazy task just to get 1 minute of perfection.
But it
Yeah,
seems
'cause
like
the shadow would lie the right way or
He
something.
created a human hand out of driftwood, out of a shadow.
yeah.
I really liked reading that in the book.
But the way they met on this kind of like, it streamlines it. Like that scene would have taken a long. Like this movie is already 2.5 hours long, basically. Like, they kind of kept it in sort of like this movie's. They kept it in like an enclosed sort of like capsule space sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like it could have been like a, 20-minute sequence of this whole thing happening or
Right.
something, but they kept it into like this tidy little neat thing. He's already traveling on planes back and forth, so, and it also gave it more of that Insomniac vibe sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like it's like.
And it still has that, like even to this part, even this action, this
Like-
crazy stuff, it still
yeah.
feels like that.
I like the
Insomnia
idea,
vibe.
the single serving friend idea, like he just kind of elaborated on that point, which was something that was in the book,
Right.
so they just kind of took that single serving friend and, because at the beach he wouldn't have been such.
Just got kind of sad when Bob died.
Yeah. Meatloaf did die. And the worst part is they take his hat
did.
off or whatever, and his, like, the top fifth of
brain
his head is
falls
just
out.
missing, yeah. It's pretty gory.
Ski mask trying to blow things up.
What do you think is happening? Dude, you're sending very mixed messages here. I mean, you were pissed that you weren't more part of this thing, and now we're involving you more into it, and you're pissed that that it's like not the way you want it to be now. Like I thought we were just having
Right.
fun crashing ourselves
see-
in cars and stuff, not fucking getting our heads blown off.
But see, at this point, he still doesn't know that he's the guy, right?
Nope.
Right.
And this guy, the guy who's the new leader, is the guy that he just beat the fuck out of.
Angel Face, isn't that what it is?
Yeah,
Angel
that's what he's
Face, Jared
credited
Leto.
as.
Old Blondie, Magoo's. But yeah, I don't. This part kind of never really.
We don't have a name.
They're like, yeah, in Project Mayhem we don't have a name.
I
They're like his
understand.
name was Robert Paulson. Like this is the first character outside of the narrator that we meet, Bob. You
Right.
know, we see. Well, we meet Bob's tits first, and then we meet Bob.
Right.
So, like you said, you're sad when he dies. And he's like, he had it. They said they don't know his name, but his name's Robert Paulson. And then it becomes like, they turn it against him. And
Yeah,
just
they mess him up with it.
they start using it as a mantra or whatever. Like,
They start a whole like theology thing about it. You know,
That's
it's
what
like
I'm
I get
saying,
it, I
like,
understand. The
yeah,
whole
like-
group like goes nutty on the.
yeah. Oh, I understand. But in death, we have names.
Right.
You know?
It's a new addition to the belief.
Right. They become like a cult.
Exactly. They just add on
I love it when he's
to the
when he's-
mythology, and they think it's so strong because they're all there while it happens. So they all believe they witnessed like the creation of it. Like the birth of like this new. His name is Robert Paulson.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
We
like,
embrace-
it just feels right. We're all repeating it. Like it's kind of like
later when he's in the bar, in some different city.
Yeah.
There's all these people in the back chanting, his name is Robert
And
Paulson.
he just interrupts them, and they're like, they all stop awkwardly. He just finds all these these tickets that are marked Tyler Durden in this drawer, and he just
Or
decides
boarding
to
passes.
yeah, and he starts like following these tickets, like following the trail. He's Detective Insomnia here, and he goes to these bars, and all these people have like stitches, Band-Aids.
They call him Sir.
They call him Sir. Like they've been trained not to give him any information, but they do so respectfully.
He designed it to where the first rule of Project Mayhem is you do not ask questions. He made that the rule. So when he goes around asking questions, they cannot answer him because he told them
Where's
never
that?
ask questions.
It's about I love the guy that comes up and he's like,
Look at my face.
He's like, I know. Yeah, this guy right here is perfect.
He's trying to answer the way he's supposed to.
I speak any such, nor would I, even if I had said information you would want at this juncture, be able. Yeah, you want at this juncture, be able. I'm afraid I'm gonna ask you to leave.
Because he's the type of guy that throws around cutting off balls. He's like, if I don't do this, and if you don't answer the right way, I'm gonna cut.
I'm gonna hit my microphone cord and cut
hit my microphone cord. Sorry.
No, you're fine. No, it's totally horrible.
For all we know, he human sacrificed these guys. And then he comes in saying, tell me everything, after he just said, don't ever tell anybody anything.
And then you get these two jagoffs that are like total, middlemen at like some corporate place, total cubicle guys just like, we heard he's this and that.
They
like
give him a lot of information. They say he only sleeps 1 hour a day.
Yeah, where did that come from?
Yeah,
he works. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Oh, okay. So that's, he has the strength of 10 men.
Maybe I do.
Yeah, maybe I do. Maybe I don't. Like, jeez, these myths are great. The Romo, old sweat like fried chicken. The floor's like still moist.
Were you about to say moist? You were about to say moist right after you went.
The floor's still moist. Sorry, I had something in my mouth. Are they the ones going? His name is Robert Paulson. No, this is a dynamic microphone.
That's crisp, man.
Yeah, I like this one. It was like,
I need to get one of those.
Yeah, that one's pretty good too. This guy, he's in like full headgear. Like
what is
his
that contraption?
He gives him information.
His neck, his head,
like a collarbone broken or something.
That is called a halo.
He's like, I saw you last week.
Dave Blonsky had to wear one of those for a while. It's drilled directly into your skull.
Jeez.
Yeah, like that thing's drilled directly into his skull.
This guy looks like Frankenstein.
Wow.
With more headgear.
It's
You're
for
Mr.
neck
Durden.
injury.
This is the reveal. This is what we've been trying to
injury.
avoid the whole fucking time, and now we can say it. The narrator is Tyler Durden.
Right.
Tyler Durden is the narrator.
Yeah.
Welcome
Say my
to
name.
the
Say my
rest
name.
of your life. This is like an episode of Twilight Zone expanded 3 times as long.
If only the doctor would have given him some sleep medication.
I think what actually sparks his character isn't it Marla? Isn't that what one of the onsets of it too?
The meeting of Marla, that's what sparks the
Because he
delusional
doesn't.
behavior.
He calls Marla. She's like, I can hear you breathing, and then he hangs up the phone and he calls Tyler. He calls her and she says, yeah, his apartment explodes in his mind. And then he hangs up after she says, I can hear you breathing, and then he calls Tyler.
She definitely influenced his spiral like out of control, that's for sure.
Because like he had this pattern down. He was good to go. He found the support groups. He was sleeping like a baby, and she fucking put a cog in that wheel or whatever. Is that what it is? A cog? She threw something in the spoke and fucked it all up.
Yeah, she threw off his fucking support groups. He was so good.
There it is. The J Center for
Yeah, okay. Now that I see
shaved
that,
head,
totally,
like he's got a fur coat.
that was
like
Jay
sunglasses.
That was him in senior year. That's exactly what he looked like.
At one point, he had like white T-shirts that he wrote on that looked like he wrote on like blood or something, right? Isn't that what it looked like?
Yeah,
That's what he got kicked out for at one point, right?
right. He got kicked out
It
of
said
school.
something about a teacher or
It
something.
said
right?
fear and loathing in high school.
Oh, ooh.
And it was like
How
few
controversial.
people- Yeah, right. That was controversial for our school, I guess. But fear and loathing in high school. The
Very few people.
yeah. What is it, Chris?
Very
Did you
few
guys-
people understand the psychology of a highway patrol officer.
But it said English teacher.
They changed it to very few people understand the psychology of a high school English teacher.
Did you
Right. He got kicked. He didn't get to finish high school because that's how strict it was.
on your guys' show? Did you get that soundboard yet?
No.
I really wish I had a beep and we could just beep his name out like on the spot. It'd be kind of fun. But see, the thing is, this laptop doesn't. It has Wi-Fi, but I don't have internet capabilities, and I work 2 jobs and stuff. There's a lot of excuses that I
Just
put
call him
into
by his
this thing.
celebrity name. That's good enough.
Oh,
I think. Jay Elliott.
well, Did he legally change it? I don't know.
That's what I wanted to ask him on the show.
That's his stage name, you know? I think he would respectfully call someone their
See,
stage name.
Around here, we're not used to people changing their name like for stage.
That's-
or
now it
whatever.
goes back,
seems like something.
What is that?
People might do.
Who's Knoxville? KP? Is that what they call him?
I don't know. Knoxville, Johnny Knoxville. It's definitely a nickname.
They call him like PJ. PJ, that's what they call him.
Oh. Well,
I
in the movie, it's starting to
are
show
we
like
doing something?
these insane parts where like, you know, where he's like totally schizo. And like Marlo's like comes up, you know, there's one scene where Marla approaches him and he's like, Tyler's not here. Tyler went away.
Right.
And he's clearly Tyler and he has like a bottle of vodka in his fucking robe, like looking all And then in the parking lot when he's fighting Tyler, he's actually just beating the shit out of himself.
Right, that's crazy.
And he mentions that in the office with his boss, you know, like I thought of my first fight with Tyler. You know, they give you subtle hints throughout the movie, like we did, and kind of blew. But you
The
know,
very first line, you know, he's like, I know this because Tyler knows this.
exactly. So when he get
That was a great shot.
in the fight club, like in the fight clubs, does he get in like 2 fights a night when he fights as himself as Tyler, or like because he says sometimes he projects himself, he like Tyler speaks for him or whatever, and sometimes he actually just is, he's doing the action. You know, he's actually Tyler Durden. So. Is he fighting twice a night? Is he doubling down because he's fucking this guy too? Like that sucks. He's like schizo fighting.
Yeah, man. Can you imagine being in the audience like this guy's insane.
Yeah, this
He's
guy's fucking nuts, and I'm gonna follow him to the.
fighting himself and then fighting somebody else.
He's walking. He's arguing with himself in the front seat of a car, then like crashing it. Fucking this guy is insane.
And that's the level that they're on. Like, yeah, this is what this guy does.
And at one point, he's on the
Let's go to
phone.
the bathroom.
Okay, enjoy. At one point, he's on the phone with Marla. And in the background, you see Tyler, and he's fucking nunchucking, like, all crazy. Like, is he really...
Right.
Is he nunchucking while he's on the
Yeah.
phone with her? You know,
Yeah.
like... It's just real silly. He has conversations with people as Tyler multiple times. There's one of the... whatever habits that happens... what do you want to call that? The themes is, like, Marla and Tyler are never in the same room at the same time.
Okay.
He says it's his parents. Like, or, well, the three of them are never in the same room at the same time. So he's either in the room with Tyler or the narrator's in the room with Marla. This is where it gets confusing.
This is where he's in the basement, right?
Well, yeah, but I'm saying this is where it gets confusing because the narrator is Tyler, and you know,
Right.
so referring to Tyler is kind of referring to both of them.
Yeah, it is very confusing.
But okay, so there are actor names. So Edward Norton is either in the room with Marla solo or with Tyler or Brad Pitt solo. They're never in the room all three together. Because then that would expose his alter ego or something. I'm not sure why.
Right.
You know, it's
Well,
clearly
there's
for
one
the
scene where he's in the basement talking
yeah.
up
This
to her, like-
conversation,
exactly.
This conversation is over. It's over.
And
Yeah,
he shuts the door. Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, he speaks.
That's one illustration of that.
But it's clearly for us as a movie viewer for the first time, because it would be weird if it was like any other way. You know?
Yeah, I wonder what would happen.
Like,
if
how would
all
they
in the
explain
same
it? Yeah, then you would look back now and be like, what the fuck is that?
room?
They could explain it somehow. Beer me, good sir. There are moose heads in there. Jesus. My throat gets real dry, and then it starts sounding pretty bad. I gotta turn the mic up now,
No,
because my voice is kind of going bad. Oh, so he is now coming up with talking to Marla after he had that huge realization that he is indeed, Tyler. He's asking her if they fucked. If they did it, did we do it? Did we have? And she's like, "Are you asking if we had sex or made love?" That's not the answer he's looking for. He wants to know.
The waiter
Did
is
they do it?
I like this clean food. Oh, I'm back.
Yeah, welcome back from the Chris Break Show. Chris Break himself.
Thank you.
From the pisser. How
Clean
was it?
food, please.
Clean
In that
hands.
case, sir, may I
Speaking of
advise
which,
that
did
you
you wash
stay
your
away from
hands?
the clam chowder? I did.
Yep. They were. Yeah. They're fucking with everything now. So don't order the clam chowder. If your waiter has a black eye, don't order the clam chowder. Anything that has like a white base sauce, you probably don't want because it probably has semen in it.
Or I mean, it might only be semen.
Yeah, it could just be
Some
semen
salt.
with like fucking potato chunks in it. It's very possible. John, how do you feel about
And
that?
they call it clams.
The white sauce?
I would avoid it at all costs.
It's
if there's
oysters.
Is that the
anything
red or
like
the
that
white?
going on.
The white. Dude, I have 3 beers over here. I swear to you.
got a bottle.
Yeah, I do have a bottle opener. Sorry.
Man, this movie's gonna start to get rough.
Oh, I like it. This is just when it got good. That's when, it's called a changeover, Zach.
No, you were gone, and John and I were just discussing, like, it
Movie
starts to
goes
get
on.
confusing, because when you refer to Tyler, you're referring to both Edward Norton and Brad Pitt separately, sort of, so it gets a little convoluted. It could get
I
there.
call them Tyler and Jack.
Yeah, well, the subtitles did say narrator for a while, and I think that they might change
Does
over
it?
to Jack, but
Really? That'd be interesting.
they might. Who knows? I mean,
Yeah.
in my fantasy world, yeah, that's what happens.
I think it's just fans that say Jack and Joe. I don't. It was Joe in the book. I don't know if we told you that.
Is it? You did. You said it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa, Mr. Chatty over here. You need to,
Yeah, it was. It was Joe.
you need to
in
pull
the
that
book.
string on your back or something.
Actually, the reason why the buildings do not go off in the book, that is one difference that separates the film.
That is one of the big differences too.
the buildings
the
do
reason?
not
The buildings
blow
don't
up
blow up.
because there are two ways of preparing the dynamite, and Tyler prepared it in the way that Jack says normally doesn't work, but that part of his brain did not get that information, and they just don't blow up at the end.
It's like earlier. See, that's what I was saying with the dildo and the thing. It's like self-sabotage. I think that's what he was doing with the dildo and the thing. Like he was kind of testing the waters of this new personality sort of thing.
Like you said, self-sabotage, and that's like the nihilistic type of thing,
Seems like it. Yep. Seems like he would risk sabotaging himself and like appearing to have some kind of device in his fucking briefcase to cause some kind of like panic. Some kind of stir up.
Yeah, just as a joke, just to throw a wrench in there.
Well, also it's a very viable alibi for when his apartment is exploding. He's like, I was at the airport check, talking about a dildo in my bag. I was trying to get, he has a perfect alibi for when he's apparently blew up his own apartment.
Yeah.
Because he's
That's where
Tyler.
you see everyone stand up.
My dad saw this movie, and I don't think he liked it because there's lots of like cussing and stuff in it. But the one thing he said about it is like, that guy's crazy.
Yeah.
That guy's crazy.
What kind of movies? Like, what are your dad's like top 3 movies?
I don't know. There's a new like movie that's like biblical or something that's coming out that he wants to see, like the Son of Man or something like
Noah?
that.
That looks great. Son of Man.
Son of Man. He wants to go see
Nope.
that.
That looks better. That's like that's what I loved about Passion of the Christ were the teachings. And that Son of Man movie looks like strictly teachings. Like the whole movie is like the story of Jesus, not the
Jeebus?
Passion of the Christ only focused on the last 12 hours of Jesus'
Yeah,
life.
the fucking
Right.
sadomasochist element of it.
Yeah, but this
Right.
Son of Man.
We went and saw that movie
looks-
together.
Shows the miracles. It looks really cool, man.
This is
Yeah,
this
so
is
it's
like
good
10
with
years.
My dad.
This is 10 years in the making, coming back together to watch a movie. But we're going to do it on record this time. The Passion of the Christ, we all jumped over a car. You two
Right.
successfully and me unsuccessfully.
Right. Everybody on the show here went to go see the Passion of the Christ in the theater when it came out, and
Zach had to watch the film with a bum leg.
Yeah, because I tried to. Everyone was jumping over this car, and I jumped over it, and I kind of cleared it, but then I clipped my leg on it, and the person in the passenger seat happened to open the door at the
oh, I
at
didn't
that
know
time.
that.
Yeah, so I came out
Yeah,
like,
they fucked you.
yeah, dude, I smashed my face and my leg, and I basically had to like walk with crutches
You
without
kinda-
having crutches.
Well, you kind of no. They opened it when you were falling off. You kind of went shin first into it.
yeah. Like, well, I
the
cleared
door
it with the
wasn't
top
open
half
at
of my
that
body, but then like I
Yeah.
clipped with my shin for sure, and I fell off. I hit my face on the side of the street, on the curb. I pretty much embarrassed myself after everybody else was like, jump in the car.
What'd you think of that movie? Just you
I was the
going
only one
into
who succeeded like a son.
yeah,
of a
Well,
bitch.
Chris.
I wouldn't brag,
Chris
I
is a
got-
jumping sob.
No,
He
how I
can
was
jump
able
over
to
something.
do
Well,
that.
you got the
I
long
landed-
legs.
Yeah, but I ran and jumped and landed on my feet on the roof of the car.
Yeah.
I was able to stand up, like no hands. It was.
He did.
Siege, you
Never been able
flat-footed
to do
jumped
it.
off the ground
it's like
onto
those
the hood
people
of a
that jump
car.
out of pools
ran.
like up onto the edge. He did that. He ran and jumped and landed
It's like
flat foot on
parquet.
the
Parkour.
parkade.
I'll never be able to do that again. I wish I could do that.
Yeah, now,
Now you're over 30.
little did you know. Are you over
30 in X
I'm
days.
exactly 30 years old.
Yeah. Well, days now, I guess, right? Congratulations.
Here's another chopping off balls reference.
Dirty 30. Well, he went into the... Yeah, so Edward Norton, as now the realization of being Tyler, went to the cops to, like, say that he's the head of a mass terrorist organization. They have,
Turn himself in.
Yeah, there's cells all over the United States. He's basically just laying it all out there.
I
And
am the
of course, every single cop except one of them is
As a member.
a member. Yeah. So the cop goes out. He's like, I'm gonna go check up on some of this information, and they just jump him and like threaten to cut his balls off. But he ends up getting the upper hand, being the 1 hour sleeper. He-Man.
That's
He
terrible
is,
to
you know?
do that to yourself, to set yourself up for getting your balls chopped off.
This is all total like self-sabotage too.
Yeah.
You know, like
You've only got yourself to blame.
He
Jack.
laid a plan out, and he said, this is what we're going to do, and if anybody tries to fuck it up, cut their balls off. Even if it's me. If I come here and fuck this up, you cut my balls off. I'm telling you now.
and this other
It sounds like just some drunken idiot's plan. Like, I'll tell you what, Connor, here's what we're going to do.
yeah. And then Edward Norton's like, you can stick your well-laid plan up your well-laid ass. Straight out of Die Hard: The Vengeance.
This is the guy waking up after
Never
the
seen
hangover the next day dealing with his plan.
Sam Jackson, man. A lot of people
That
didn't
actually
like
is
it.
the
Like
only one I saw. It's
they're
the
like
only
the
one I
first two are Die Hard, and the third one, I like the third one better than the second.
I hated that Kevin Smith one.
Yeah, that one wasn't.
Kevin
good.
Smith did a Die Hard.
He was in one.
He was in what?
4.
Die Hard 4.
Yeah,
That's pretty
Live Free or
cool.
Die Hard, right? Yep.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with that. Sounds good enough. He was in it. He actually rewrote pretty much the entire scene he was in.
Go listen to Kevin. Go listen to Kevin Smith's 3 Evening with Kevin Smith or one.
Yeah,
of those.
go read one of his books or listen to his his one of 5 million podcasts.
Or you know, go ahead and
tell
the
you
download
same
it.
goddamn stories like 50
He'll
times.
tell you an hour-long story about Die Hard. It's a pretty good story on him. His 3 days on the set. It's
Or
really good.
My Boring Ass Life. That's in there too. That thing is thick.
Yeah,
You gotta-
I bought
the guy-
that at the stash.
The
I
guy
still
makes
haven't
fun of
read it
himself.
all,
He
though.
understands. He has a fuck ton going on, and like he tells the same stories over and over. He understands that. Like not to bash the guy, but that's his bread and butter.
He's definitely
And
monetized.
I've heard the story like 30 million times.
He's definitely.
So we don't have to delve into it. If you're interested, like you said, there's many places you can look it up. Go and look it up. He was in Die Hard, and there's a story attached to it that's beyond. It's just a Hollywood insider story. That's why.
That's
That's
his
what
bread and
interests
butter
me
now.
in it a lot of the time.
Yeah,
is
that's his job. It seems like now he's not so much doing anything as much as he is just talking about.
Well, I heard the
other
other day
people.
on there, like
he's
he's like,
he's his whole. He just goes around and talks and gives.
well, that's what
private
he's saying.
details
People don't
about
tell him stuff
celebrities.
anymore because he's like, because I have all these podcasts and I don't shut the fuck up. That's pretty much what he said about himself.
I wouldn't tell him shit, man. I wouldn't be hanging around with that guy.
Hell no.
You do
Well-
any work with them, and then he's just gonna go and
right.
Well, because
just
like the
tell
Ben,
everybody
yeah.
in detail. Like
Well,
that's
that Ben
how
Affleck thing,
that's how
like
you're
he's
making money
Batman.
now?
Ben Affleck's Batman,
you're fucking walking, talking gossip magazine.
Right.
And it's like,
Which I like hearing the stories, but that's what he's doing. Sorry.
no, it's fine. Like, I was just saying, Ben Affleck's Batman, and like they're reasonably close. Like Kevin Smith bought Ben Affleck's house, but he doesn't know shit about that stuff because now around Hollywood they have to sign all these like confidentiality agreements. So there's not a lot of stuff getting out anyway, unless it's somebody, sneaking around like they shouldn't be doing.
Well, there's lots of
Like,
paparazzi out there.
Yeah,
and
but
they're
like there's not like it's not like breaking news anymore because all of a sudden when something comes
Right.
out, like there's 30 places that have a story on it. So
it's not shocking.
it's
not
all
big
instant.
deal.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
story.
yeah, exactly. Like you don't have to be the one that breaks the news. You have to be the one that comments on it the funniest, like Daily Show or something.
Right.
Like that's what it's come to now. Like the most popular shows are those that are commenting on shows. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Yep. You guys just stare
I
at
know,
this
this is
movie. You're like
great.
lost in this goddamn movie. I'm looking at John, and you're just like lost, man.
I'm waiting to dispense my last piece of trivia.
Brad Pitt's eyes. You're lost in his eyes.
It's about the scene where they're fighting and
Well, it's
the guy's falling down the steps. They shot this scene where they're fighting and one of them falls down the steps. They shot it 12 times with the stuntman, and they end up using the first take.
Well, I mean, from what I understand, David Fincher does a lot of takes.
Okay.
I'm not sure he's quite Stanley Kubrick style, where he's like, that guy is known for
Stanley Kubrick does a lot of takes.
Yeah, like that's an understatement, sir. Like he's known for going above and beyond the amount of takes you have to do, and like breaking his, putting the actresses like Shelley Duvall, like in The Shining,
Yeah, that would piss
like
me
putting
off.
them in states of mind, like getting them on the edge of their nerves, so they're about to break anyway.
People don't like that, man. Directing people is kind of hard.
Yeah, but in this, from what I've heard on the commentary, I think like Fincher did quite a few takes of all these things, so it's kind of commonplace. I love that Brad Pitt's fighting him like all kung fu status.
That's that
"Gah!"
training, that Taekwondo training. That they
Yeah.
took.
Did they take that?
Yeah.
In
and
the
Edward
okay,
Norton
yeah,
both,
yeah, on the side, yeah. I thought you meant in the movie
Oh no, like for their acting.
for their acting prowess. Now he's just exaggerating
Beats
it.
him with the
Beat him
shoe.
with it's just like you hit me in the ear, man, and beat me with a fucking shoe.
I wonder if that was in the script or if he just accidentally pulled his shoe off. And
Yeah.
Oh, the things we could know if we were connected in Hollywood.
it looked like one of those moves. You
Dude,
know?
that thing fucking hurts. He's attacking with an antenna off a car. Oh. And that wall is not a cement wall. It's a fucking
Really?
yeah. Apparently, you could see it move a little bit or something. But yeah, he's not throwing. I was kind of curious how much they actually did make contact in this movie because when he's doing the lie thing on his hand, he's like smacking the shit out of him. You know, like
Yeah.
open hand smacking him across the face. I was kind of curious.
Yeah, I think that stuff was pretty legit. That right there.
Too legit to
Yeah,
quit.
this is the
Yep.
scene.
And that totally was not. It looked like Colin Quinn. It was not Edward Norton. Like obviously. I like how they do that in Lost, like with John Locke. You just find some bald son of a bitch. Like, you know, it's like,
toss
oh, it looks
him
close
down
enough. That's him.
I'm not good at seeing those things, but
Oh, yeah.
I do know watching Mrs. Doubtfire with our producer Brian. I had never ever noticed.
Producer on the Chris Break Show, right? Your podcast that you have.
I had never noticed that that it
plug.
wasn't
You're
Robin
welcome.
Williams. Thank you. When he's on fire.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
when his
okay.
boobs are on
Yeah.
fire. Apparently, it's the most
He puts them out with
obvious
the pan lids.
thing ever.
Well,
It's like
I didn't
it's
notice
a skinny
that.
guy who looks nothing like Robin Williams. Like when it shows a close up of his face.
The,
pretty
mo-
much, when
the
his
most obvious one I've seen
boobs
is
are on fire.
Well, when it's a good story and you don't notice stuff like that.
Terminator 2 Judgment Day. There's one song where Edward Furlong's riding his little moped or whatever, his like dirt bike, and all of a sudden it cuts to this dude and he straight up looks like Michael J. Fox. So, like, it's in the special features, you know, and it's this little like fucking like almost 40-year-old like pud with like a chili bowl haircut, you know, like I'm John Connor.
Right on the
And they're like, yeah, bro. Like smoking a cigarette or something like that.
I've never heard anybody call it a moped before. I like
The dirt bike, yeah. It's totally that sound is so fake, you know, like they totally dubbed that in later. Terminator 2 Judgment Day. That was a go-to movie when I was between like 10 and 15. I watched that movie
Really?
so many times. Yeah, oh yeah. That was a good one. And Tremors. I watched that a lot too. Out of the whole movie library, those were the two I focused on mostly. It's a job.
that. I see what you're doing, Zach. You're really good at not falling into the film.
I'm not trying to fall in the trap of the film,
Because
because now you have to read the subtitles.
You're looking at us, and John and I are just entranced with the words on the screen.
Yep. Like I watched
And
this
you-
movie
you
before we watched
basically
it, but
put
I
your back to the screen.
oops, I hit the microphone. I watched this movie before we came here, but I I didn't watch the last half an hour of it.
What is that shirt he's got on? Is it black
It's
sugar?
a tank top, man. It's nasty, like I said.
Yeah, but
It's a hint of a nasty man.
I think it's a motorcycle type thing. I think it has motorcycles on it.
I thought it was like some kind of like
Okay.
anime looking thing, you know. But who knows? Is that what we're really concentrating here
Well,
on, boys?
the wardrobe of the character, you know.
Yeah. They ties the whole nihilistic thing
The
together.
hustler
right?
shirt
He
he was
doesn't give a
wearing
fuck
before.
what he's wearing. He looks like a fucking skeezy trailer park boy.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
Yeah,
this
that's all you
can't
got?
be happening.
I was kidding.
It's already done, so shut up.
It looks like
60
Black
seconds.
Sabbath. But
Is that what
it's
we
not.
revert
See,
to?
all right.
We're gonna revert to just reading the
That's
lines
what,
off the
that's
fucking
what I
screen.
always do. I just revert to reading when I got nothing else.
Well, it's at the point like it's come to a head, you know, like he's being held
Speaking of
hostage. He's been held hostage by his alternate personality. So what he has to do is kind of self-confidence his way out of this, right? He has to swing things into his standard personality, like into that direction. He has to put the ball in his own court. So he's like,
Put the gun to his own head.
the gun's
so to
not in
speak.
your hand; it's in my hand. You know, like you're not doing this, I'm doing this. And he puts a fucking gun to his head.
I like it's interesting.
Yeah, interesting. That's what I was about to say. I think like that's very. I didn't watch this earlier. That is interesting. What would you do? You gonna pull the trigger?
He's got the gun to his chin.
You gonna pull that trigger? Would you pull the trigger to end this?
What?
Tyler stands up. You know, he's threatened. He's like, oh.
I don't think there's any way. Like, you could relate to this guy at some point, but I don't think after this last like 45 minutes you can relate to this guy anymore because it's way
It's
beyond.
definitely past the point.
It's way beyond anything you can empathize.
I started thinking about what
Would
he's actually
you
doing.
pull the trigger on yourself when your
I'll give that
schizophrenic
a
other half was trying to take over and had a gun? Would you be able to trick yourself into giving yourself the gun and then blowing your own face off?
For the longest time, I thought he had
This is
died.
awesome.
I thought he was dead here.
Edward Norton shoots himself in the face, and then it cuts to Brad Pitt, and he goes, like he starts talking and blowing smoke out of his mouth. It's kind of cool. And he blew out the back of his head. It's so literal, though. It's kind of strange. Like, couldn't you have done that internally? Like, in your mind? Couldn't you have shot yourself in your mind, or did you have to physically blow half your face off
It's a bit extreme.
to kill your alter ego?
Then these guys come in like, what happened to our boss? He just shot himself in his face.
It also doesn't make a lot of sense. Why
Well-
would shooting yourself through the cheek kill your alter ego?
The movie clearly answers my question by saying yes.
In the book, he actually dies, right?
No. What they
Nah.
say happened
Nah.
is that when he fired the bullet went through his cheek and Tyler's head.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the book, he ends up in heaven, though, right?
No, in the book he ends up in an insane asylum.
Really?
Yeah, but he describes it as heaven. He talks
Okay.
about God's PhDs hanging on his wall.
Yeah.
He talks about how it's real nice outside, and sometimes Marla comes up from Earth and visits me and tells me what's happening. Every once in a while, when people bring my food to me on a tray, their
Yeah,
faces,
real sad stuff, like real
faces
uplifting
battered.
stuff.
Their face is battered, and they say, "Here's your food, sir."
That
so
was
even-
lost on me. I thought he was
so
actually in heaven.
Even the
though.
orderlies,
They couldn't end on that note here, though, right?
Yeah, even the orderlies in the mental institution are still members of.
Yeah,
Fight Club.
Project Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like-
wow.
They deliver
Sir.
his food to him and call him sir. You know.
So even if he wasn't delusional, the delusion would carry on.
But
He's
he
not
felt-
delusional. I mean, he is to a certain extent, but like, part of that delusion follows him still. Even if he escaped, like that alter ego
Yeah.
thing, or like, even knowing that, escaping that, still physically, you have to deal with the people that think you're someone that you don't, that you're halfway not, You're halfway not the person that these people think you are.
Yeah. And so sometimes you just have to shoot yourself to correct the situation.
But of course,
Everything's.
they couldn't end that complexly, right? Is that a word? Complexly?
Yeah, I think so.
They couldn't end with that amount of complexity. In a Hollywood,
Somebody
Film
sing
it
that
this
song for me.
where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my
There
mind?
Try this trick and spin it.
Yeah.
I wonder if this will sync up. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go listen to myself watch a movie.
There's nothing in it, and you'll ask
Oh, penis.
yourself,
And there's the
penis,
full
where
front of
is
penis
my
is my
mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? With your
Well,
feet on the earth, your head on the ground. Yep. Angel faced earlier, way out in the water. See it
it's
swimming. Yeah. Right? Well, that's the end of the movie, guys.
Wow.
Yeah. That was like that movie's like 2.5.
It doesn't feel like it's a sea. Man, we're really, now we're completely lost. I'm glad we weren't doing this at the beginning.
Somebody's nickname is Coconut in the production staff. It was like Lisa Coconut. Ooh, I wonder what she's into. She's a freak in the sheets. Bringing coconuts and shit.
What is happening here?
What the?
Here, watch this. So that was Movie Buzzed with your host, Zach. I'm Chris Brake, and that's John Rapp.
Hey, guys.
And now here's Zach.
What? Why did I have to watch that? You're like, watch this. I'm gonna do something. What was that?
That was me taking some sort of obnoxious control.
Oh, okay, yeah. Like I just have that eager urge to feel in control. So, that was your first movie buzz experience, John Rapp. How did you feel about that?
I felt pretty good
You
about
liked it? Not too
Yeah.
bad, right? It's pretty
It was
easy
fun.
going. We used to be able to listen to the movie, which made it even easier.
Yeah.
So why are you doing this now?
It sounds so much better.
So yeah, let's ask you some questions.
Okay, well, I have some for you guys too, but go ahead.
What happened? You just decided that you wanted to finally do what you kept saying you weren't going to do, which is make a companion piece.
Yeah, well, no, it wasn't even that.
I think it's going to be great.
I didn't keep saying I wasn't going to do a companion piece. It was just that the way it had to be edited together, it needed to be one. Because, I don't know, just some things didn't work, But
I like this. I think this will be fun to sit and watch a movie.
yeah,
with this
yeah.
playing.
No, yeah, and straight through, it'll be a lot of fun. I just have to get Caleb on board. I haven't talked to him for a while. Apparently his birthday passed.
The only reason he told us is because he needed something from us.
Yeah, because he needed to get buzzed without the movie, and it's not fair. Because he could have told me, he could have come over here. We could have watched a short,
The Christine Short.
Yeah,
Start
fucking
doing shorts.
fucking
You should do the
vignette,
Oscars.
something,
You should do all the
Yeah,
Oscars.
all the Oscar shorts. You can,
Well, none of them are out though. Oh, the
you
Oscar
can watch
shorts.
them online
Okay,
or
yeah,
whatever. Like the short films or whatever.
yeah, but we have to watch. I don't know. It's
No
a,
internet
Well,
in the
now
movie
see, now
buzz
it's a
studio.
fucking process thanks to this fair rights thing that I thought I had down, but I didn't. Fair rights is you
Fair
can
use,
watch fair use. Sorry, I apologize for that. But fair use, yeah. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. So clearly, the show was illegal. But yeah, you can't have a majority of the content of a movie in the background. It's just licensed to distributing houses or whatever. Like the studios own the rights to these movies and their audio. And even if you want to have like a trailer, you have to get the permission from the studio.
Right.
It's just how it is.
Even though you were doing what I would appear to be,
Commentary.
yeah, which I would
Which
think
I
that's
thought
fair
that
use.
would
But
be
that-
within fair use.
Yes, but it's not. We're not just making commentary on a specific part of it. We're
You
making
actually have the recording of the in the background.
Yeah, like we could make commentary on the piece as a whole, but we can't have the whole piece there. We can't present the whole piece and then
What would be cool is if we could hear the movie in
I
our
suppose
ear.
so, but that would make it. I think that would actually make it a little.
That would distract even more.
That
than
would.
the subtitles.
Yeah, because you're already. Yeah, I don't know.
But like a monitor.
Yeah, it would be cool to have a monitor. I'm not quite sure to set that up right now. So
You don't need it.
there's a way to do it on here. I mean, there's.
If you're listening to this, send Zach a tweet.
Yeah, right.
Tell
whatever.
him-
I got this
tell
mixing
him-
board that
tell him
has
how to do
control
this.
room and main mix and stuff. I mean, I could figure something out maybe, but I don't really want to. I kind of like it this way.
movie_buzzed. Twitter,
Yeah.
right?
It kind of puts some onus on the fucking guest. Like you want to be a part of this thing. I would really appreciate you to be a part of it, but if you really want to be a part of it, you have to invest something in it. Usually watching the movie beforehand, or in
Yeah.
this case, you've seen the movie so many times you don't have to watch it beforehand or whatever. I did just to kind of refresh myself.
But it also could be funny. Like you said, you did the Texas Chainsaw Massacre one. That could be funny.
It was.
Watching it with some guy who's never seen it.
It was, but see, that's the thing, though. I watched it, and he had the sound in his ear, and I did not. And he was more concentrated on, understanding the story and, keeping with the story and stuff and, listening to it instead of me. And, I would jump the gun, too, because it didn't have subtitles. So I'd be like, oh, this fucking guy, he's talking about this. And he didn't talk about it for, it'd be an awkward amount of time, 15 seconds, I'd say, oh, this guy says this. And he's like, what? And then the guy says it. It kind of fucked it up kind of bad.
That might be
but
fun to listen to, though.
it elicited a lot of reactions yep. Because it hadn't happened. You wanted to experience it, and I just ruined it pretty
I
much.
feel like
so.
we gave you a lot of yeps.
It's okay. It's okay. Apparently, I warrant a lot of just responses.
Yeah.
When you just start babbling on about a name bullshit, people are like, yeah, sorry, there's a movie on.
Mm-hmm.
This stars Brad Pitt and Edward Norton. Who are you? You're no Helena Bonham Carter.
I'm Jack's movie.
Yeah. I'm Zach's broken heart. Thanks, guys. You did a good job tonight breaking my heart.
I think
So
it'll be good.
you've been part of a fight club?
I didn't really like to get punched. I didn't really like
Did you
it.
get punched in the face?
We had an agreement that you want to punch people in the face.
That's a horrible agreement. Did you get punched in the testicles?
No.
On
but
accident? I know that's probably a rule too, but
lots of back and arms.
were there any holds? Did you guys ever
Maybe some stomachs.
try to do some sleeper holds? And people,
I might have got a headlock put on me.
it seems like if you got someone in a headlock though, they would just elbow you or something because you
Yeah.
don't,
That's kind of what happened.
you're amateur fighters, so it's not like you're getting.
Yeah, nobody.
I'm
had any
getting
training.
the full headlock experience where you can't reach me with your extremities. So if if I went to headlock someone, they could probably elbow me immediately.
I
And I would
pretty
let
much
go.
stopped when we got out of breath. That's how we stopped. Like,
If
once-
someone
once we were
taps,
completely out
they
of
black
breath,
out,
we'd stop.
bleeding too much, or they just can't breathe too well.
It wasn't that
'cause
serious. No, it's like once it was like, dude, I am totally out of breath. I need to stop.
I
Like
just
5
clipped
more
there.
times.
Fuck. I need a cigarette. I laughed too loud at your silly jokes. Your silly true life stories are not jokes. Yeah, I always thought it'd be cool to. I always thought it'd be cool to join a fight club. I always kind of.
Go to boxing, man. My buddy Rick is.
No,
fucking-
fuck
he's-
that.
He's doing boxing
But
training. It's really helping him
impromptu
out a
fight
lot.
club. I held a lot of
Endorphins
rage.
and-
I held a lot of rage as a overweight preteen. I wanted to. I felt a lot of rage, and I'm kind of sometimes I'm a pushover. So sometimes when people take advantage of that, instead of acknowledging that. I used to get just real upset about it and just like, immediately show my emotion. I still do. I still show my emotion a lot, but like I don't let that kind of emotion get to me. I kind of let that stuff out. But I used to let it pin up and like you could just see on my face just like, oh my God. Don't talk to me. Like
I'm not good at dealing with people's emotions. I don't. So what you were saying to me right there, I was like, oh, I don't really know what to say to this guy.
Yeah, so you're like a robot. You're an alien. I think you're an alien, is what I believe.
I mean, he sounded like you had it pretty under control. Instead of saying normally in a situation like that, instead of saying, oh man, that sucks. What happened? Tell me about it. I'd say, you need to stop being a fucking pussy.
Yeah, but that was when
that
was when I was saying, like when I was 16 or something. I was let that shit bottle up or whatever. But
I'm not calling you a pussy. I'm just saying that's my emotional extent.
Are you all right, sir?
Do you have to use the bathroom?
What?
Did you hear that response? Seems like it's a serious sort of thing. I just want to make sure that he's not completely fucked.
He did have a migraine the other day, and he started throwing up all over himself. That's a true story. I don't know why I was supposed to say that.
I don't want to exacerbate the... When I was a kid, apparently, I used to have really bad migraines, or so I'm told, but I don't remember that. I don't really get headaches, though.
What happened? Apparently, when you get a bad migraine, it causes you to vomit. That's really common.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah, that's how bad it is.
Pretty much,
It's a
this
good
is
flick.
what it boils down to. Is
Thanks for
that,
having me over.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming. We do have it's a new format, basically, is what it boils down to. We're trying to go legal. Legal beagle. No response to that.
Is this the
stupid? Just tell me I'm stupid so we can end the fucking show, man.
I kind of want to draw it out like a reality show because I think people want to know what happened.
Dude, this
to
is
John.
gonna
I think
be
people want John to return.
This is gonna be a 4-part episode.
I think they
want
to know I think they want to know what happens.
No, so far we're at 2-parter. This is gonna be a 2-parter because we're almost at
that.
we're almost
if
at
someone invests themselves into watching the movie,
dude, we're almost at 3 hours.
that's obnoxious.
Yeah, so I think the first part will be the movie, and then the second part will be the after the movie, the after buzz.
That's still a lot though. That's
after
a
buzz.
long time.
Yeah, dude. How you doing over beers there?
I drank 3 of them.
Mm-hmm. In movie news,
I drank 3 of them.
people are drinking beers while watching movies that were. I let my mom listen to one of these podcasts. She never listened to it. A lot of the responses I get, I have a boss in real life, and she asked me if I had a podcast. I said yeah, and then she didn't understand it. And the way I explained it to them is like it's like a radio show, and they still did not understand it. So I played one for my mom, and she was like, "Oh, I like that." Like she thought it was pretty funny.
It's talk radio.
And it wasn't in like the mom encouraging me because she has to, because she's my mom sort of way, Like she genuinely like laughed a couple of times at me and Caleb being stupid. I was like, yes. So it is.
Everyone loves mom encouragement.
Yeah, it's special.
Speaking of fucking, I'm going to talk about another podcast now.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of,
It's always good to talk
people
about,
not knowing what a podcast is and listen to it, like, what is this? Deaf people can't listen to podcasts. And
what if they have closed captioning?
I was listening to a recent Adam Carolla show episode on his podcast, and he actually had a deaf interpreter, or what do you call him, a signer, on stage. He was doing a live show.
Oh, nice.
And they had a signer. They had a deaf person audience, and the podcast was being live signed to a member of the audience. I thought that was really fucking cool.
That is really cool. You could just put it on YouTube with closed captions or something?
But the audience went out of control when Adam Carolla said the word blowjob. The audience just lost their shit. So I can only imagine what the signer...
The sign, yeah. Just some guy like miming a cock in his mouth.
It was a woman.
Oh, nice. That's even better. That's probably what got the reaction.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was a good episode.
I don't know. You just assume that people still have all these gender biases, so they laugh. If it was a man, maybe they'd be like, "Oh my god." There's still people like that. I was watching this thing on the news today, and they just struck down this. There was a proposed amendment that was going to go in the Indiana Constitution to ban same-sex marriage.
I thought it went through.
No. What they were going to do is they have the amendment, and they need to get it through a vote before it goes to the people to vote on. And it can't get past that part where the House votes on it to get through to the ballot for the people to vote on. And they're still fighting for it. Like, these people are like, this is not a defeat, it's just a deterrent, like, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you are fucking insane. Like, what is this? Like, they're like, the guy kept saying, he's like, it protects marriage between a man and a woman. I'm like, what exactly is it protecting? Like, what's in danger? What is in danger of standard marriage between a man and a woman? You know, like, what is being endangered by two people of the same sex getting married? Like, how is that endangering that? Like, apparently it makes the ideal weaker or something. I don't know. It's clearly some religious BS, you know, that's like dying pretty quickly nowadays.
I like it when they talk rationally about it, and they describe it as an impossible thing. Like, well, obviously, like a marriage between a man and a woman, I mean, between a man and a man or a woman and a woman, like, obviously, by definition, that doesn't exist. That cannot exist. Like, you're talking crazy. You're saying that, like, there's no way. Like, that doesn't exist. That's like saying the sky is brown. Like, it's just the word marriage means man and woman. There's no getting around that. And if you want me to change the definition of the word marriage, well, then that's even crazier.
And there's
that's
no...
their attitude. It's hilarious. But, you know, when you realize you're just arguing about words, it's kind of a brain trip. You know, like all these people are fighting just for words.
They're trying to monopolize the PP and the B hole. Is basically what it is. That's the gay marriage there. Hey, welcome back, John. How are you? Feeling a little better?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
You okay? We talked about you that you were probably vomiting in there, and if you want us to edit that out, that's perfectly okay. But he said that you had a migraine the other day, and you got sick, and we were just making sure that you were okay.
Yeah, I'm okay. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. No,
you missed the gay marriage thing. I think
you clearly missed a rousing discussion about.
I think that what people what people think, the people who are against gay marriage, it comes down to, I think that they have a belief that, like, God or something has told them that gay people shouldn't be together or whatever, like people say in the Bible.
Yeah, it boils down to a religious belief, basically. If you don't think that same-sex marriage is right, I guess, more or less, it seems like.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what it seems like more, you know, it seems like a religious sort of thing. Like, that's the only side of the law. That's the only
there's something wrong with being
opposition.
gay, and the other side thinks that it's natural and that it's just another way of life, like male,
it's just
female.
like,
well, no, natural. People
straight.
who are anti-gay marriage, it seems, they believe that it's unnatural. You know, like, it's natural for, like, the word marriage. Supposedly, the definition from what Jack Rooney was telling me is having kids. Like,
the definition of marriage is having children.
Yeah, supposedly that's to him. That's what he said. Is that, you know, like, and that's a man and woman, so it's unnatural. The definition, you know, of marriage is unnatural if it's between anyone who can't have kids. And then he was talking about common law marriages and I don't know, weird shit.
Well, it seems like there's
it was all words.
No man shall lay with another man, sort of thing. So it's like,
that's
the Bible,
one of the verses in the Bible.
In the Bible. So if the Bible says that you can't lay with another man, then you can't marry another man. You know, like, that just goes without saying. Apparently, you know. I mean, right? Isn't that a logical conclusion? If you can't lay with another man, there's no way you can marry him.
Right, but in the same, like, text, it also says you shouldn't have a beard, like, it's a certain length and whatnot. That's part of, in the Christian belief.
Well, yeah, you have to pick and choose what you want to believe, right?
Well, it's not picking and choosing. In the Christian belief, those are laws we're not bound by anymore. So they're not pertinent anymore. So
why are they not pertinent anymore? Because of the times, or
because Jesus came to save us from the law, and then now we don't have to abide by all those rules anymore.
But most people don't.
I like that angle.
Interpret it like that. Yeah. From what I understand, yeah, I've never heard that explanation before because no one ever believes that. You know, they you know, Jesus apparently absolves you of your sins, so why do you have to judge these people that are apparently sinning by laying together and getting married together? You know,
I don't know. I'm not the Bible figurehead.
I understand that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know, like every time
that viewpoint because I've heard it before.
I don't know. It's, you know, it's hard to put your foot in the other shoe. You know, because it just seems, I don't know.
What is the phrase, this is where the shoe drops, or the other shoe drops? I don't know what that means.
Sir, have you ever heard?
It's a bad thing. It's like...
you're on a way with words?
It's like you just want to cruise to Hawaii, you know, and then it's like the other shoe drops when you figure out that you're on the cruise, but you're going to
but where does that come
death
from?
camp. I don't know. Like the
Dude, like I
etymology
said,
of it.
call Away with Words. It's on NPR. You can ask about definitions of phrases and words and shit, you know, like slobber knocker and, you know, stuff like that.
That would be a lot of fun.
You've never heard that show? It's on NPR.
It's a real show?
Yeah, it's really good. And
Really?
these two, you know, hello, you've got Away with Words. It's kind of weird. And people calling like, my mom used to say, you know, used to call me Kelly Goosecock. Like, what does that mean? You know, where's that phrase come from?
Is that from Clerks? What's Kelly Goosecock? What is that from?
It's from like CKY or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the Jackass crew
Okay,
people.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, but wow, we've really gone on topic here. We have not gone off topic yet. How was your Fight Club the first 3 times? You said you got hit in the back and sides and stomach, and then you're like, okay, that's good enough. I'm out. I can't breathe. What are you looking up? Looking up Kelly Goosecock?
I'm looking up etymology. Wait for the other shoe to drop.
Oh my gosh. Might be a good time to wrap the show up. Fuck it, why not? Listen to that dead air. That was more than like a second of dead air, so that means it's time to wrap the show up.
That's pretty strange. Well, let me just tell you real quick. I'll read this one paragraph and then I'm done. A common experience of tenement living and other similar style housings in New York City and other cities during the manufacturing boom of the late 19th and early 20th century. Apartments were built similar in design, with one's bedroom under another's. Thus, it was normal to hear a neighbor removing shoes and hearing them hit the floor above. As one shoe made a sound hitting the floor, the expectation for the other shoe to make a similar sound was created.
Wow. Really? You don't say, sir. Well, I think that should about wrap it up there. For here for Movie Buzzed, I am your host, Zach. Joined along with the Chris Break Show crew, Chris Break, Sir, John Rapp, Sir. Thank you for joining me. Have a night, a good one. We'll see you here next time on Movie Buzz.
Yeah, come on over, enjoy the fun. It's time for Movie Buzz.
Great job.
That's pretty good. I like what you did there.
Pretty bad. You know?
That was really long.